Hi everyone, Tony from Hack the Movies here, and today we're talking about all the modern It adaptations. It Chapter 2, and It Welcome to Derry. Yes, just the modern ones, not the miniseries. We'll do that another time. And we're going to figure out what is the best It adaptation today on Hack the Movies. Hello, Logan.
Hey, Tony. I really like your Pennywise dancing clown costume.
Oh, yeah, I guess I do kind of look like Pennywise. This is just a coincidence. You see, there's a school nearby. They're having a career day, and they wanted people to come and talk about their careers. So I wore my outfit as someone who talks about movies on the internet, which is a fucking clown. That's what I am. Logan, this is what I am. This is what my life is. I've become a clown. Please like, share, subscribe. Anyway, I already owned the shirt from a long time ago. I think I wore it in the Rob Zombie episode we did last year.
Oh, for like
and then I was just like, well, let's go get the wig. Not a good wig. The Pennywise wig sucks. It's not white. The hair doesn't even go the way it's supposed to. You gotta like fuck with it. It's see-through. I don't know if you can see. You can see my flesh. And it comes with like a little red makeup marker. I'm just like, this sucks. This sucks so much. No wonder this isn't a popular costume. But yes, Stephen King's It, directed by Andy Muschietti. This new modern series of Pennywise movies, and now shows. Of course, we're doing this because It Welcome to Derry finished airing recently. People were wondering why I wasn't covering it. I should have done. We were actually thinking of doing like weekly live streams, and I think the timeline didn't work out right.
Nah, because you thought it was going to we thought it was all dropping at once.
We thought it was all dropping at once, and then I think it was airing like too close to the holidays. Yeah, and that's just too much.
Yeah.
Although I might try it with the Carrie series coming out.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, so I finally finished it around Christmas. Really got into the show, and I was like, all right, well, let's go back and watch the movie. And then I was like, you know what? While I'm doing all this, let me finally go through the book. It's a very long book, as you can see. Obviously, I did the audiobook, as I'm known to do. And some of you enjoyed clips I posted of me listening to the audiobook, being taken back by some of the things I heard.
She heard the familiar chimes from the living room, chimes that had always sounded to her like a Chinese name, Ching Chong.
Excuse me? Which is narrated by, I'm blanking on his
Steven Weber.
Steven Weber, who I believe at the time of this airing, I think later this week we will be talking about.
He's going to be showing up.
On Logan's channel, we shot a review for the Shining mini-series.
Yes.
So subscribe to Videoville, plug early. Subscribe to Videoville to hear us talk about that later this week. Or right now, if you're watching this much later. Go right now.
Well, with that being said, I do want to say, okay, I want to get right off the bat. Everyone says, okay, you got the miniseries with Tim Curry, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone talks about that. It's burned in people's memories for now and forever will be.
Yeah.
You got the current ones with Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah.
And everyone, then you got fans of King that have read the book and they know the book. But I will say the avenue of the audio book, and I think you're going to agree with me, if you've done all three, you got to do the fourth, because Steven Weber reading this book is the best acting he's ever done.
He gets really, although the stuttering heard out loud really started to...
Yeah, it's a little hard.
Really started to get on my nerves.
Because it's literally every sentence.
Yeah, when I'm reading it, I'm like, no problem. When I'm hearing it, I'm like... Yeah, so I had tried to read the book, this exact copy, years ago as a kid. I think I started too young. I think I needed to be older reading the book. But then when I got older, I'm like, that book's fucking long.
Oh, yeah.
And Audible's not invented yet. So I forgot about it. And I knew like stuff that happened in the book. My ex-girlfriend used to listen to the audiobook, and I would tune in whenever a dick was being talked about for whatever reason. That's whenever I would tune in. So this episode finally gave me the opportunity. I'm like, you know what? I have the audiobook. Let me just go through it. All 48 hours of it. And I did it, and I learned a lot. I knew most of the stuff. I knew about the turtle, obviously.
Yes.
I thought the turtle was going to come earlier in the book. And there was one part where I thought it was going to happen in the next chapter, and then the bullies are jerking each other off. I'm like, that's not a giant turtle. When's the giant turtle showing up?
Well, that's like Mike. Doesn't he show up till 75% into? They don't meet Mike till 75% into the book.
Yes. Well, the reader gets to meet Mike.
Yeah,
earlier,
when the
older
loser
version.
club meets Mike.
Yes. He's like the last one there. And I had grown up with the miniseries as well.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed it. Till that spider at the end. And there was also some cheesy made-for-TV stuff in that as well. They couldn't like go as hard as you really want to. And actually, there's a really great documentary. I think it's even free on YouTube right now. I actually interviewed the filmmakers a while back called like Pennywise, the story of it, about how they made the miniseries.
It was on Tubi forever.
Yeah,
like,
it was on
forever.
Tubi for a while, and I believe it's free on YouTube. I did a whole episode called like how to make film documentaries where I interviewed them because they also did RoboDoc.
I was gonna say they did RoboDoc.
Yeah, they did RoboDoc. They did a couple of them. Those guys are awesome. But yeah, so people grew up with the 90s one. People love the book. I now really like the book. I think it makes some weird side tangents. It gets hung up on some details. And then, okay, everyone knows the famous sewer scene with the kids.
Yes.
But right before that, they just introduce randomly that Eddie has The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, and by the way, Eddie's always had a power to know which way to go, even if he was never there before.
Yeah.
I'm like, and now they're lost and the power's not working. I'm like, wait, so you just introduced that he had a power, and now he can't use that power that I didn't know he had until right now.
Yeah.
So the book has weird stuff like that, and then you introduce all the cosmic stuff that is more about like the Dark Tower.
Yeah.
And then God makes a cameo at the end of the book.
Yeah.
Very wild book. Very wild.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The Ritual of Chud, I really don't think I understand it. Dude,
Psychic battle.
I gotta do it again. Like I'm gonna have to go through the book again. But like something about that, like the way I was seeing things versus after I listened to that part of the book and then looked up, I'm like, that's what y'all got out of this? That's not what I got.
Yeah.
That was not what was going on up here.
So people wanted a new It, because there's a lot of story in that book. You can make it probably should just be like a TV. I know now it is a TV series, but looking back and now seeing how the TV series played out, I'm like, kind of wish these movies were just TV series.
Well, also, what was big right now? Little kids doing crazy things
Yes.
based in the 80s.
Yep. So they brought it. Stranger Things was very popular. There's a lot of 80s nostalgia. Even the book isn't about that, but obviously they were going to update it. It took a while for this movie to be made. I have it here. Cary Fukunaga, who did True Detective, wrote the screenplay with like two other people. I don't know if they all wrote it together or if like other writers came in. But he wrote the screenplay for at least this one, and he was supposed to direct it at one point. There was another director before him, David Kajanik, who I'm looking at his stuff. Let me see. What has he done? I haven't seen any of the... Oh, he wrote the new Suspiria.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Which I'm a big fan of the classic, but apparently it's not that bad.
What, the Suspiria?
The new one, yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Okay.
Oh, no, I've talked about, like, that's an example of a remake that takes the basic idea and tries something new and inventive with it, and I like both versions equally.
So that was the only thing, is I was such a fan of the original, I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch a remake of this.
Yeah. And this guy ended up making that show, The Terror, which was pretty popular.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He left the project. Fukunaga comes on. He leaves the project, and then eventually they get Andy Muschietti, who, if you're a fan of this channel, we revealed that last name is Italian for "that's too much spaghetti." We learned about that in my episode for The Flash, which Andy Muschietti directed. Another movie that they couldn't get a director for a while. They said, Muschietti, get in there.
Well, then what was happening with that one is it kept on getting postponed, and people were like, I got shit I got to do. Man, I'm not going to set it on this sideline forever before I make this fucking film that you're never going to make.
They started work on this in 2009. This movie didn't come out until 2017.
Yeah.
So finally we're going to get a new It movie. Everyone's excited. They got Bill Skarsgård in there. How did you feel going into this one when they announced it? When it
when it first came out and it was coming out, Because that is Logan. The Logan that saw it, chapter 1, was not this Logan here that has read the book.
Okay.
The book was currently for, because once again, just like you, it's a big fucking book,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's always been on my list to read. That and The Stand have always been on there. Now I have finally taken on and finally read it. Now I'm going to go off to The Stand. But like when I saw this, I was fresh. I just know the Tim Curry miniseries. And Tommy Lee Wallace, I believe, was one who did it. So I was looking forward to it because I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's going to be more of a faithful adaptation. So maybe I can finally get a understanding of the story that I haven't already heard, or because things as you become older and as an adult and stuff like that, you look up things and research. I already knew about the turtle from seeing shit online about the turtle and stuff like that, about him throwing up the universe and stuff like that. And I was excited to see it. I was a big fan of Stranger Things at the time. I liked the fact that they were putting it in the 80s, so that I thought that was fun and stuff like that. And I mean, I remember I went to Benji's Drive-In Theater. They were doing a special. They were doing 3 films. The first one doesn't make any sense. They were doing a Hitman's Bodyguard.
Oh, that got a sequel. Don't shit on it.
It Chapter 1, and then the miniseries.
Ah, okay.
So, but I guess because the Hitman's Bodyguard just came out.
Yeah.
So I guess like, okay, we need to do 2 current films and then we can play. If people don't want to stay.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's a long,
Yeah.
all 3 going, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So they're like, okay, we'll do the miniseries at the end if anyone who wants to stay by. And I thoroughly enjoyed it when it came out.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. My perception on the rewatch and now knowing what I know from the book is
You have some opinions
I
on
have
it?
some opinions, yes.
Well, I was worried about this movie at first because right before this was the Poltergeist remake, like a year or two
Still
before
never
this.
seen it.
Never seen it, but it used to clown in all its advertising,
Yeah.
and that movie flopped. And I'm like, wait, aren't they trying to remake it right now?
Yeah.
Like, that's not good.
What's his name? Who was the main actor in it?
Sam Rockwell.
I love Sam
Yeah,
Rockwell.
I love Sam
But
Rockwell.
still, like, I'm like, I don't know.
I'll get to them at some point.
Yeah.
I do need to review them because I found an elderly comedian from Jersey who looks exactly like the dying bad
Oh,
guy.
yeah, you told me about him.
Yeah. I told him, like, I need you in this review. I know you don't even watch movies.
The guy from 2, right? 2 and 3, yeah.
So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll see it. Because again, much like The Shining, like, I didn't read the book, but I know that there were enough changes that you could do a newer version of it. And then I saw the picture of Bill Skarsgård as the clown, and I went, eh. It's one of those, like, trying to be scary. Although now I looked at, like, 1800s clowns, and it makes a little bit more sense.
I have a problem with it.
When you know how the book is just how the clown in the book is described, yeah I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I see what they were going for, especially with this backstory that we now know, it makes a little bit more sense. But I went in with an open mind, and I remember really enjoying it at the time. I think I probably watched it one more time before Chapter 2 came out. I did have some issues, but we'll get into it. But yeah, I've revisited for the first time in years now, and that's why it's first up on our list. And I will read the back of the box for it. Stephen King's horror masterpiece comes to life for a new generation. In Derry, Maine, 7 young friends unite against a terrifying supernatural creature that has been haunting their small town for centuries, calling itself Pennywise the Dancing Clown. I can't do the leg thing because there's a table in front of me. It is a monster of unspeakable power that takes the form of everyone's most horrific fears. And then a mummy for no reason in the context of this movie. Threatened by their worst nightmares. And again, that mummy for no reason. The only way these kids can survive it is together. Now, that is a big thing for this movie. So the book, it's telling the kid's story and the adult stories side by side.
Yes.
Throughout the end. I was actually surprised by that. I know it jumped back and forth, but we got to the end, like, oh, we're getting the first time they fought him and the second time they fought him. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
The original miniseries did it through flashbacks.
Yes.
Where someone gets a call, which is kind of like how the book starts off, with someone getting a call, getting flashbacks, and then the story goes on. And a lot of people who watch the original miniseries like the part with the kids more than the part with the adults.
Yeah.
So going into this one, they came up with the idea of, let's separate the story. Let's just do the kids section, and then we'll do the adult section. And at the time, I said, that's a good idea. I hope they don't backtrack in the next film and waste everyone's time. I was like, that's a good idea, because that way it's a beginning, middle, end. It leaves room open for a sequel if it does well. If this didn't do well financially, you feel like you've watched a completed story. So I liked that idea. How did you feel about that change from the book? Just making it just the kid's story, no framing device or anything.
I get it. It makes sense. Because that's the thing is, there's two ways to look at this movie. Really, there's look at it as the concept of without knowing the source material and analyzing it. Like, does it work? Yeah. And it does work.
Yes,
it does work. And I think that, like, it didn't bother me the first time I watched it. On the rewatch, it still doesn't bother me on the rewatch now that I know the book and stuff like that. It just makes sense, because to set down and turn this into two films, unless you're going to literally film them back, do the Superman, Richard Donner back and back. There's no other way you could really do it successfully without the children, like, aging out of it.
Yeah. Because even in a couple years, they're going to digitally airbrush them. I noticed that in Chapter 2. Yeah, so, again, I was fine with it at the time. My only issue with it now comes from the second one, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll go through the characters, I guess. We get Bill, the leader of the group, played by Jaden Martell, I believe. Did he change his name? He's from Philadelphia. Huh. He's from Philadelphia, who I've only ever seen in Knives Out after this. So this is like his first big thing. But of course, he's the stutterer whose, brother gets eaten by Pennywise in
Georgie.
the beginning. Poor Georgie. But yeah, we get like the whole thing with the boat and the yellow rain jacket, and Bill is the one who doesn't want to go out with him. He's like, hey, look, I'm sick. Just have fun. Go out by yourself. And then, of course, he gets eaten, leading to Bill feeling guilty for the rest of the series. I thought he was good in this. He was fine.
So I will say, he is, out of all the crew, he's the best.
Yeah.
And he's the character, like, to be honest, it's the character they need to spend the most time with, because he is the glue that holds the group together.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, because, I mean, they make Big Bill. Big Bill, what do we do, Big Bill? Like, it's very adamant in the book. Like, don't get me wrong, they are all collective together. But it is clear, like, they all love each other. But Bill, it's not like they know Big Bill is the leader.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And it's like, and so, like, you really do need to focus on his character a lot, because it is the starting point of the film is with him losing Georgie. I do think that the actor did a very good job. There are certain things in the book I wish really could have gotten. I really wish we could have got him with the stuttering phrase. He thrusts his fist.
He does say it.
Very little.
Yeah.
Okay. They don't work it into the film like it is in the book.
So he thrusts his fist against the post and still insists he sees the ghost. We see him reciting that to help with his stutter. Yeah. But that played into the original ending of how they were to fight him, that the turtle gives him advice, and they ended up not using that. So they put it in there. There's a lot of stuff in here. If you've read the book, you will appreciate a lot of references and whatnot. Like, there's one point, I think, when Eddie got his... No, it wasn't when Eddie got his arms broken. I think it was when Ben is all cut up. They're in front of, like, a painting of the Bradley gang being killed. Like, you see the painting there.
Yeah. But then if you look on the wall, there's Pennywise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fun stuff that are like references to the book, and you're like, oh, when I watched this originally, again, I knew the basic story of the book, but I didn't know those little details.
Yeah.
So watching, I'm like, oh, that is clever that they put that there, even
Yeah.
if they weren't going to draw attention to it. But yeah, we missed out on him like doing the stutter. There's a couple phrases that are missing, except for when they're not, and they get confusing. We'll get to Richie in a second. But I thought Bill was decent in this. It feels kind of the same as his book character.
No, his character is the most accurate. Bill and Ben are pretty identical. Like those kids are the character.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now Ben, they change a little bit. I'll get to that.
Okay.
I'll get to that. And of course, you know, the second lead is Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, the dancing clown, and it in general. We'll talk about all his monster forms when we go through the scares, but just focusing on it, Pennywise, Bill Skarsgård. I think he did a great job, and I really like his version of Pennywise. How do you feel about him?
I will say he did what he was supposed to do. Gave us something we didn't see yet.
Yeah.
And that's his main job, because he has to take Tim Curry's Pennywise is one of the big time monster baddies. Like he's up there with Freddy Krueger.
Like that's a hard Tim Curry role.
Yes.
To follow up on. Like that would be like following up on like Dr. Frankenfurter. It's like those are big shoes to fill. Not quite as big as Pennywise because they're clown shoes. But they're big shoes to fill. This isn't like I'm trying to think of other Tim Curry roles. Tim Curry in that third Tales from the Crypt movie that didn't start off as a Tales from the Crypt movie. And
where he plays all three characters?
No, that was the show. They made there was a movie that was so terrible that they repackaged it as a third Tales from the Crypt movie. Tim Curry's in it. Being the new version of that character, probably easier to fill because no one even remembers. You didn't even know it existed. But replacing Tim Curry's Pennywise, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And I think Bill Skarsgård did a really solid job. He's having a lot of fun as the character, which is very important because if you go through the book, like Pennywise, when it is in Pennywise form, just having a great time.
Yeah, I will say Tim Curry's portrayal feels more accurate to the book.
Yeah.
But here's the thing though, is like I said, we can't have a copy and paste. We need something different. And Bill Skarsgård's is scary.
Yeah.
It is scary. And that's one thing that, like, to be honest, in the book, 90% of the time you're seeing it, and he's not in clown form. Yeah. So to have a very scary presence that's going to be long lasting, I really think, he did a phenomenal job. And the thing is like, he brought it to a whole new generation.
Yeah.
Like my son knows who Pennywise is because this new version of Pennywise it's new iconic.
Yeah.
Now it literally is.
Yeah.
Like especially
he really put his stamp on it.
2017, we're almost 10 years in it, and they haven't lost any momentum.
And they've just figured out a way to keep him going.
Yep.
And thanks to makeup, like he doesn't really have to age.
No.
He can age and it'll still be fine.
Exactly. So like, I agree. He did something that a lot of people say probably couldn't have been done.
Yes. No, I think he totally nails it. I think he's got the spirit of the character from the book down. Because again, Pennywise in the books just really loves being an asshole. And I like that you said he's not usually in clown form, but sometimes he can't help himself and he'll add clown stuff to the monsters.
Yeah. He's like the werewolf, the hybrid werewolf clown monster.
Yeah, the werewolf then suddenly had orange pom-poms on his fingers. And then it's like the giant bird had balloons. Like, it's explained. Have you ever really explained it too much when we get to Welcome to Derry? At some point in the past, this cosmic ancient being, which is really just evil lights, which the closest our minds can comprehend a physical form is a spider for some reason, at some point just got really into clowns. And he's just like, clowns are like my thing. I'm into clowns now. It's like when a kid goes through a phase. It is in his clown phase, and he's been in his clown phase for a while.
Well, yeah, when we talk about Derry, we're going to go in more detail, because there is some stuff I want to bring up when they make that transition of when you find out what's going on.
Yeah. Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, really, really great. And he would try to replace other iconic roles. Go back and watch our What is the Worst Crow episode. Doesn't always work out for old Bill, but here it did. And yeah, his character's really great. Again, I didn't really like the look of the clown, but now I've kind of settled on it.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, the book, has 2 orange puffs of hair, a silver suit,
What?
and a blue bow like tie.
I was watching behind the scenes. His suit is silver, but
Oh,
due
it
to
is.
but
Oh,
due to the filters and stuff like that they use on the film, it looks like white, but it was metallic silver.
Oh, I guess it does have like a, yeah, I guess I can kind of see it. But like, I think King mentions like he looks like Bozo or Ronald McDonald. Basically.
Yeah,
he
said,
looks like what we would think a clown
Yeah, he said
is.
Bozo because the thing is Bozo has been around for a very long time. So like, if you know what Bozo the clown is, and they make the reference in the book, so when you see Pennywise, you're gonna if you know what he looks like, you're gonna put that vision in your head of that iconic classic clown, which is more of a Tim Curry look.
Yeah,
But it's not Tim Curry though. Like it's Tim Curry's is more ideal, but that's not what he looked like.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Bozo dubbed over?
No. I love Bozo
No,
the clown.
that's a I think you should leave skit.
Oh, okay.
And people who watch I think you should leave, they're now just impulsively quoting the rest of that skit. I put it in their brain and they're not turning it off.
I hope I don't jack off.
What is this, Reggie?
I guess it's like a viral video where Bozo dubs over.
So this is Jeremy Ray Taylor, who plays Ben Hanscom, the fat kid, who they don't call Haystack.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I'm looking at his credits. It says he was in one of the newer Goosebumps movies, but I didn't see that. He does a good job as Ben.
Yeah, I
As
think he did a good job.
The fat new kid, his parents. They don't really go too much into his family situation.
I'm not gonna lie. This is one of my big. I'm just gonna say because we're talking about family members and stuff like that right now. Because my biggest pet peeve is I don't like the way they portray all the adults in the town. I don't like the change.
Yeah, because like even Bill's dad. I mean, that scene. Unfortunately, Bill's dad only gets one scene.
Oh, he's got more scenes.
Oh,
There's 4 scenes with his dad and 1 scene even with his mom.
and they deleted them.
They
all?
deleted him. Yeah.
Oh,
The ending. They had a completely different ending.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't realize it. I should actually watch those and put those in there. My
Well,
bad.
And some of them they repurposed and used in chapter 2.
You're gonna have to tell me which ones. Then you're gonna have to tell me which ones. Then, yeah, because so Bill's parents, they just have the one scene where the dad's like, "Hey," because he's showing him how like where Georgie could go. Because in this one, Pennywise does kill the kids, but he takes the bodies.
Yes.
Like they always find the bodies dead eventually in like the book, but in this one he takes them.
Yeah, and then because in the book, they find Georgie's dead body on the ground in the street.
And I appreciated that they made it as violent as it is. when
Oh,
he,
yeah,
like, bites the arm off. But yeah, in the book, like a neighbor comes and like picks him up,
Yeah.
and blood just pours out of him and stuff.
And which is relevant to later in the story, because that character has a little part in the character. Like he was the guy who showed up that day to find Georgie. Because
yeah,
that's the one thing with Stephen King's books is like all these small characters will be brought up again.
yeah, and why he's kidnapping the kids plays into a cool scene at the end. So that I enjoyed. But getting back to Ben. He's pretty much his character.
Yes.
So Ben in the book was a bookworm at the library,
Yes.
but it was about like building dams and engineering because he
Was an architect.
He would end up being an architect.
Yeah.
In here, they give him Mike's role of the town historian stuff.
Well, because he's a new kid and
Yeah.
he has been like interested in things.
Yeah.
Which is another thing, bring it up to the library. Like that's another thing is like they make once again they make the library woman like kind of mean, and she's like really nice. Offers to give him a ride home in the book and stuff
Well,
like that.
that's because in the one scene, did you notice in that scene with Ben, the librarian? That's Pennywise. Watch the scene again. Watch the scene again. When she first talks to him and said kids should be outside. Look in the background. Ben's reading the book. She turns to the camera and starts smiling like this.
Oh.
So it's Pennywise.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not real. I wish they did more of that, actually.
Okay.
That was actually really cool. That's why she's mean. But yeah, they give him Mike's storyline of being the town historian, which I think I know Mike is asking his dad in the book about like the town history, but he doesn't really get into the story and stuff until he gets older and starts making a record. So I thought that was a weird change because like Mike, when we get to him, is like kind of my biggest problem with this version.
I agree.
But yeah, they get rid of like the dam.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important thing for all the kids to come together. So Ben is just there to talk about Pennywise's backstory, maybe, and the town's history.
Which also, you get rid of the dam, it doesn't make sense for him to be architect later.
Well, until the second movie, because this movie also left out the underground hideout until it didn't later on. But then this next actress, Sophia Lillis, is Beverly Marsh, the redheaded character, who's now in a lot of stuff. She was in, we talked about her recently in The Chair Company, featuring Tim Robinson from I Think You Should Leave.
She was on a TV show based off of a comic series, the Netflix show. It only got one season where she has telekinesis.
Oh.
Dude, it is. Talking about good show. Yeah. Don't know why I canceled it, because they were leading up for a whole new season.
Yeah.
It's so good. Dude, it is so freaking good.
I have to check that out. But she was also in
Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. And I forgot she was also in Asteroid City. So she's like all over the place at the moment.
Nancy Drew? I think she was Nancy Drew too.
Yeah, and that movie that like Ellen produced that just came and went and got buried for some reason. She's really good as Beverly Marsh.
Great.
I thought she was really, really great. They change her family story a little bit.
Yeah.
So like in the book, like the dad, you can tell like the dad has a thing for his daughter, but like isn't acting on any of it.
But he's also extremely abusive.
Yes. He is abusive in the book. But you can tell it's creepy. He's got like an attraction, but you can tell like he's not acting on it. It could be the creepy thing where like, is he waiting for her to age up or whatever? Yeah. But her mom's alive in the book.
Yes.
In the movie, I think both movies kill the mom. But yeah, in the movie, the dad is like, he hasn't done anything yet, but like he's like ready to. So it's a little bit more uncomfortable. He's a real asshole in this one. And then they try to make him sympathetic in the next one, which was bizarre.
Yeah.
But as long as it drives the point home that like she's living with a guy who she can't stand, and she's like one of the poorer kids. I thought she was pretty perfect in this. Storyline wise, they take Audra getting kidnapped at the end of the book and they just move that here but replace it with Bev, and I thought that was kind of dumb.
Yeah, because also it doesn't work because she gets the deadlights.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you find out what happens when you get hit with the deadlights, the deadlights aren't the same.
Yeah.
And they definitely change up the deadlight, because the deadlights in the book is a big pivotal point at the end, because there's a big explanation on how can you stop Pennywise, and it's more of like a separation of him and the deadlights.
Yeah.
That's the only time you can attack.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you ever look into the deadlights, there's an effect that it has over you, and the only way to get rid of it is to leave Derry.
Yeah.
So it definitely
they changed the deadlights, but also like one thing again, she plays the part really well.
Yes.
But I liked in the book that like the first time they fight him, it's like a group effort.
Yes.
And she's like an important part of it.
Yes.
Because when they
do it, but then they don't do it
the right way. But it was kind of cool that like she was the one that had like the slingshot that was able to like who would be able to fight it. So instead they turn her into a damsel in distress here, which again is something that happens in the second half of the book. Why they put it here is weird with this character. But when it comes to acting, she does a really great job. She does the part really well. Her and Ben's relationship is fun.
Yeah.
Her with Bill, like them, like that kind of will they, won't they romance. Not really a love triangle.
No.
Because the other two guys aren't really like fighting for her or anything.
No one's fighting for it. And also, they're still, the book, when they're young in the book.
Yeah.
They're still really, like, that girl's pretty, but like, really when it comes down, Ben is the only one who's actually in love with her.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the next actor, of course, is Finn Wolfhard.
Yeah.
As Richie Tozer. They changed his character a lot because he's more known for doing voices.
Now, Pip, Pip, and Tally-o, my good fellows. I do believe this chap requires our utmost attention.
And he does voices in this, but that's not like his thing. His thing in this is that he's like a shit talker.
Yeah.
And he's like a joke guy, which leads to him being a comedian later on. But they don't really do too many of the voices. He does like a Spanish voice and like a British voice.
Well, that's another thing is you have to be careful on what voices he does because
yeah.
you can't.
But they could have they could have just been like, it was the 80s.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel like you should have been able to.
Yeah.
Because it gives you a good feel of the character.
Yeah. But they updated it where he's just like a shit talker.
Yeah. But then they blend him and Eddie together.
A little bit, yeah.
Especially when you get to the second one.
Yeah.
It's almost like when they get to the second one, it's like, Eddie, what are you doing? You're being Richie right now.
Yeah. But here's my problem is his nickname was Beep Beep Richie.
Mm-hmm.
And Pennywise goes Beep Beep Richie. And Beep Beep Richie is like what they would say to him to shut him up.
Mm-hmm.
But in this movie, I remember them saying, shut up, Richie. And I put this in Adobe Premiere and I transcribed the whole movie and I typed in beep, beep. And I'm like, when did they ever call him that? Never. Only Pennywise calls him that. Was that in the deleted scene? Them calling him beep, beep, Richie?
Nah.
Okay, so Pennywise is calling back something that's not in the movie.
Well, and the second one.
And then they do it again. But I was looking at it, I'm like, wait, they never actually establish him as beep, beep, Richie.
Nah.
But other than that, he does the part really well. Being the funny kid, he's always joking. He's a horny dude. He really likes the ladies. In this one. But no, he was actually very entertaining in this.
He's a good actor.
I like that he really wants to play Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Even though
the first one. That's another. It's the first one, which is
funny because a lot of people really didn't like the first Street Fighter.
Yeah.
I guess it made money because they did a Street Fighter too. But yeah, he really wants to be in Street Fighter, to play Street Fighter. But other than that, he's got that like kind of fun, happy-go-lucky attitude, really.
You know, one thing that they did change, because I only bring it up because you brought up the Street Fighter, because he goes to the Aladdin theater to play Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell did they not use why did they not call the theater Aladdin? It's called the Capitol Theater in the movie.
I don't know.
It's like, because they make such a big point of it because throughout the film, you see the marquee like 3 times.
Yeah.
And they put new movies up every single time. It's even a big part at the very ending scene.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why the fuck would you change?
Because what is it? In the beginning, I think Batman's playing.
Batman,
yeah,
and then
it ends with Nightmare on Elm Street 5.
What is it? Is it Lethal Weapon? What year is it when the movie started? Is it 89?
I think it's 89.
Yeah.
So would it be Batman? Yeah.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon's 87. So
Yeah.
for some reason, Lethal Weapon 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of it, so the timeline reset, it makes sense because they knew they were going to do the adult story in the modern day. So because it was originally the 50s and then the 80s.
Yeah.
So they moved the timeline up, which I thought was fine because then it gives you opportunities to do something different with the creatures. But I'll get to that when we talk more about like the story.
Also, a new audience that can relate to the new telling of the film.
And then we get Mike, played by Chosen Jacobs. Who have I seen him in anything else? Nope. No, I mean he's still acting, but I haven't seen him in anything else. They didn't know what to do with Mike.
Well, they ruined. Don't get me wrong, I like the kid.
Oh yeah,
did a great job.
None of this is the actor's fault.
No. It sucks because Mike had one of the best. I think had one of the best stories because the thing is, when you're reading through the book and you learn anybody's backstory, Mike. Dad is still alive, and he's one of the best adult figures in the book.
And this is something they tried to correct, and I appreciate them for. But when I'm watching this, I'm just like, oh, because you're right. Mike's dad's dead. He's there with his grandfather, who is what's his face from Jason Goes to Hell. He's Mr. X on the X-Files.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember it.
Yeah, I'm blanking on his name right now. He was Creighton Duke in Jason Goes to Hell. So he's living with his grandfather. His parents died in a fire, not the Black Spot fire, but they do mention it. They also mention that it was a nightclub, and they show a picture of it, and it does not connect with what we see later on. But anyway, so his parents died in a fire, but they sprinkle in like why that upsets him. I mean, other than his parents burning to death in the second one a little bit, because then there's like this whole rumor, like, why was it on fire? Were they crackheads or whatever? But he's obviously haunted by the fire. Obviously, that's something that Pennywise uses to scare him. But really, he's just the homeschool kid. He lives on a farm. He delivers meat, and he's the target of the bullies, racism and stuff, and the kids save him during the rock fight, which is something that happens in the book. But in this movie, he's just kind of there.
Well, that's another thing. So they course corrected, like you said.
Yeah.
But they still, with that course correction, still, like if that's the course correction when we get to it, that ruins that main character of Welcome to Derry because the grandfather is such a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
So you're telling me this character that I love goes to be this character?
Well, in our fairness, we only ever saw him in one scene.
Yeah.
And he might have just been having enough of that kid that day. We don't know what he's like outside of that.
But then, like, and you bring up the rock fight. Golly, man.
The CGI rock fight.
They
The
ruined
green
that.
screen rock fight. Look, Andy Muschietti, it's not the worst example of green screens and CGI. Watch our Flash review. Actually, wait until we get to it chapter 2, actually. But no, like I said, I think the kid does fine. But yeah, he's just there to... Honestly, in this movie, what he does is tell him that his grandfather knows about the monster, and then he gives them a weapon to use later on. He doesn't really interact with the kids too much.
No.
Which, again, I know he is the latest edition. But yeah, why they gave Ben the town historian thing and not Mike? I don't, because Ben already had a story with like being in love with Bev and stuff. We could have had the historian thing with Mike a little bit. I feel like they just had Mike there because they had to, and they're like, "We'll figure it out in the next movie." But there he is. He's there. Hi, Mike. And then next is Jack Dylan Grazer, who actually a bunch of Tim. I don't know why Tim Robinson is acting with all the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was in Friendship.
Yeah.
He played Tim Robinson's
His son.
Yeah, in Friendship. He was also in the Shazam movies
Yeah.
as Eddie Kasprak, the sick kid. Obviously, the kid whose mom is pretending that he's sick. I thought he was good in this.
Yeah.
Plays the character pretty well.
He's good in chapter 1. He's
Yeah.
good in chapter 1, yeah.
Yeah. And they made sure that his mom was a great big fat woman.
Yeah.
Which the other movie decided not to do. So that was pretty funny. So they got that from the book there. But yeah, I thought he played the part really, really well. And he does... Him and the Richie character play off each other pretty well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's a big point of like... well, here's the thing is with the book. The book is fun because... And I know you couldn't do this in the movie.
Yeah.
But the book is fun with separating the Losers Club.
Yeah.
And you get to see people interact, like, because there's a scene in the book where it's just Mike and Richie. You know what I mean? There's a scene where it's just Bill and Richie. Like they're not always together. And you get these little stories like where they are all friends together, but also they can be friends. Or like one part where Richie and Bev go to the movie with another character and stuff like that. Like it would have been nice to see that in the story. And like, you know, or have like, I get having Eddie and Richie play off each other as them being like kind of like the two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would have been nice if we kind of got more of that than just them two.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah. And then, of course, the last member of the Losers Club is Wyatt Olef, who apparently was in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. Who the hell was he in Guardians of the Galaxy? Oh, he's the young Peter Quill. And I guess he was in that new Karate Kid movie that I didn't see. He's Stanley Uris. He's the Jewish one. All right. That's pretty much his character. He's the Jewish one, and he's afraid of a painting. Well, he's afraid of everything.
Well, that's another thing is they change it too because Richie's Jewish too.
Yeah.
So it's like that him being the only like that was his thing. It was like, well, then that's it.
Is Richie Jewish?
Yeah, in the movie.
Is he?
Yeah, because he's at when he's reading. Remember this second one?
Well, I thought he was just there to be a good friend. I didn't know if he was Jewish.
He's wearing a yarmulke.
Well, he was just you doing that because it was. I don't think Richie's Jewish. I think he was just there to be supportive.
Oh, okay.
I've worn a yarmulke. I'm not Jewish. What are you gonna yell at me? But no, his character. I mean, I get it. His character's not really around for later parts of the book. But that's kind of it. It's just he's Jewish and he's afraid of things. He's afraid of a painting that looks a lot like Mama. Apparently, I think someone said Andy Muschietti saw a painting like that that like horrified him, and that's why he puts it in these movies. But yeah, I thought Stanley's like the least interesting of those characters.
Unfortunately,
honestly.
in the
Yeah.
book, he is. They want to. That's another thing. I hate to say this, but like in the movie, they're trying to. Oh, he brought them together. Like,
Oh.
not really.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be mean, but like he really didn't.
Yeah. And then our human villain for this story is Nicholas Hamilton as Henry Bowers.
Yeah.
Who he's gone on to be in a bunch of stuff. I think he's in that Gen V show that people are watching. Henry Bowers, the bully. I think he does a good job as the bully.
Oh yeah, he's awful. He's
They
an awful
change his family story changed where his dad is now a cop, where his dad was just like another farmer who hated
Mike's dad.
family.
Yeah.
Which I feel like they could have worked in the battle between those
Oh
two
yeah,
families
because
other
the
than
farms were together.
Yeah. Like Henry killed Mike's dog and all
Yeah.
this stuff. But yeah, he's the bully. He hates everyone. They never really explain why he hates Ben. And I think in the book it's because he was trying to cheat off Ben and Ben wouldn't let him.
Well, also like his dad hated his dad, and
Yeah.
also he.
Well, no, that's Mike. So we know why he hated Mike in the book. But remember in this movie.
Oh, you're talking about Stan?
No. Henry in this one is really focused on Ben, the fat
Oh
kid.
yeah, sorry, yeah. It's because he won't let him cheat off him, and he's like,
Yeah, but they kind of leave that out, so it's just kind of like he hates the new kid for some reason. Well, he hates everyone. Why is he focusing on this kid? But yeah, he is a dick. He is a piece of shit, even though they didn't really develop him that much. And he has his gang, who honestly you could have limited it to just the one because they do nothing really with the other two.
it's in the delete scene.
Do they get killed in the delete? Oh,
Yeah.
come on. We
Yeah.
missed that?
Yeah.
How did they get killed?
He kills them. He slits their throats,
Oh, he kills
and they're in
them.
the car.
Oh.
So when he goes after them after he kills his dad,
Yeah.
he kills all his buddies in the car, and he's driving the car.
Oh.
They're in the
okay.
car with him, and there's blood all over their throats.
All
and they're
right,
slit
that
their
makes
throats.
sense then.
Yeah.
They really got to do that director's cut. Because his bullies he's there with the whole bully gang, and what was the main one?
Patrick Hofstetter.
Patrick Hofstetter, who is a real asshole. In the
Holy
book.
shit.
Yeah.
If you hate Henry,
Yeah.
he's worse.
He is worse in the book.
Here, long story short, everything in the world is not real and only Patrick.
Yeah.
That's his. Everything doesn't exist.
Yeah.
He's fucking crazy.
Yes. Toned down in this movie.
He kills his brother.
Yeah.
He suffocates his little brother, his baby
Yeah.
brother.
And this is like a thing that the movie really should have played on. I mean, the show kind of plays on this too.
Yeah.
Where like it does have kind of an influence over the town. And he knows that there are like pieces of shit that it can manipulate to do its bidding if it can't get the job done.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Henry is one of them. But yeah, my big thing was just like the other bullies are there and they don't really amount. Although the ending you're telling me, they still don't really amount to much.
No, because
Yeah.
clearly that's not the way it happens.
Yeah.
And it's a big portrayal in the book on how much of a coward he is, which would make more sense in the second film on how they're kind of portraying him.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But yeah, so it was a really good cast. I mean, we talked a bunch about the story, but basically, the kids, they all have interactions with Pennywise. They realize there's this one thing that's haunting them, and they need to pull together to try to fight this thing. They have to come up with a way to kind of fight with them. Although they never really, in this version, they're just kind of like, we'll try this. Why not? We hit them with the thing and it kind of works, so let's try it again. They got to learn the power of teamwork and everything.
But also the thing is they don't really, and they don't come to this point until the second film. But the big part is, the big thing about the universe.
Yeah.
You have to abide by the laws of your shape.
Yeah, it's like, that's like a big thing. Like, so Pennywise or it, whatever
That you
shape-
inhabit. Yes.
Yeah, whatever shape it takes, because remember, he's not like a physical being,
No.
really. So whatever physical thing that he's chosen to be, he has to abide by the rules of it.
Yes.
So yeah, if he's just a clown, you could stab a clown in the face and make it really mad.
Exactly, which makes sense where,
Yeah.
like, for example, in the book, he is a werewolf, and they use silver,
Yeah.
and that hurts him because he is a werewolf.
But also the power of belief, which this movie tries to do.
it's
Yeah.
not as clear.
It's not as clear. It's really shoehorned in at the end. But yeah, so again, they all have interactions with Pennywise. They investigate it. They come up with a plan to kill him. Eddie gets injured in their first attempt, and then they come up with a second attempt to try and finally stop him. And they're able to make him starve. Send him back down to the well. They team up together. But let's talk about the scares here. They moved some of the things from the book around. Like, I think Stan was the one who saw the dead kids in the sewer, and they gave that to Patrick instead. They got rid of the leeches that kill him.
Yeah.
I was fine with them updating the scares, because a lot of the book is it pretending to be the famous Universal monsters. Yeah, there's stuff that's always going to be just scary forever, like zombie kids and other kinds of monsters. But when the book took place in the 50s, a lot of people back then were watching the horror movies from the 30s and 40s because they would play in theaters or on TV. So a lot of that book is him like there's other kids outside of the Losers Club that he kills, which are all name dropped in this. One gets killed by the creature from the Black Lagoon or something that looks like it. Frankenstein's monster shows up.
Yeah, no, there's another, like, hell, I mean, they even, like, go into, like, at one point, like, I can't remember what it was, but he comes out of the toilet, kills a little 2-year-old.
Yeah, I think that might be the creature, I think.
Is that the creature?
I
Okay,
think
yeah.
it's the creature from Black Lagoon. But yeah, so I knew that they were going to update the scares, because obviously it's the 80s now. And I remember some people, because it's Warner Brothers, are like, is Freddy Krueger going to be in this?
That's what I signed that at New Line Cinemas, and I'm like, and then at the end of the film, it's Freddy's dead, Nightmare 5. I'm like, they could have went to the theater, saw it, left the theater, and then you could have had Freddy Krueger try to attack Richie.
Yeah, but then it's like, who do we get to play Freddy Krueger?
I don't know, but it's still.
But yeah, so I was fine with them updating some of the scares. So like, what are some of the updated ones? The painting obviously is one of them.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like the painting?
Nah.
The painting was cool.
And then also, like, so here's the thing. I guess when we get to Ben's, it's a guy with no head. Is that supposed to be from the explosion?
Oh, yeah, because with the book that he's reading earlier.
I'm assuming that it's supposed to be the explosion.
So he sees the picture, because they talk about in the past, which Welcome to Derry might get to at some point.
Yeah.
There was a big Easter egg hunt by a steelworks, and the steelworks exploded and killed someone, and a kid's head was found in a tree miles away. But he sees the picture of the kid holding the egg, and then he sees the head in the tree when he's flipping through the book. So he originally, in the book, interacts with the mummy.
Yes.
And I actually like the original movie's change, where it's actually his dead dad. So they got rid of the mummy, right? And they have, which I was fine with this change, where it's the kid from the book that he was just reading.
Oh, so that's supposed to be his dead dad in the library?
No. In the original movie, he sees his dead
dad.
Oh, sorry. But in the book, he sees a mummy. And he says, it looks like the Boris Karloff one, because all the kids were familiar. So in this one, it was just the dead kid, which I like that change. The problem is, at the end of the movie, Pennywise turns into a mummy for no reason.
It's at 2. And 2.
No, in the first one.
Oh, the first one too as well?
When they're fighting him at the end and he's going through all the different, like, cycles, he turns into a mummy.
Okay, because I know he does it in 2.
Yeah, but it's like...
Because he yells at him, "You're just a mummy!"
Yeah, because at the end of this one, he turns into a mummy and grabs Ben's face with the wrappings.
Okay.
But, like, it's not based on any of their fears. So I'm like, other than it happened in the book, why is he a mummy right there?
Yeah.
I thought that was odd. And then, I did like the stuff on Neem. They do the house from Niembold Street.
Yeah, the leopard was perfect.
The leper was good.
Perfect.
Leper was good, which even the book points out. It's not really a leper. It's more someone with like syphilis with skin rotting. And they got that actor, what's his name? Javier Botet or whatever. He's played a monster. He was the Crooked Man in Conjuring 2.
Okay.
He was good. And that is from the book, him being attacked because he's a hypochondriac. That one like makes sense. You have Bev getting hit with the blood in the sink, but this time they add like hair that attaches to her.
That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
Her acting in that scene is really good.
Yeah.
When she's like, the blood.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
so
the dad can't see it, so they do that whole thing where the dad can't see it, so only the kids can see it. Yeah, I thought the scares were pretty good. My problem is, and this has always been my problem with this, the jump scares. When you didn't need them. Like that first shot when Georgie looks in the sewer and we see the silver dollar eyes, we didn't need a loud bang. And they just couldn't. I feel like from like maybe like 2008 till maybe 2020, horror movies were way too reliant on the jump scare loud sound thing.
I mean, to be honest, I love him to death, but you just blame James Wan for that because he's the one who did it.
Yeah,
he's the one who like made
not
people
that they didn't
freaking
exist,
terrified.
but yeah, that was because there's so many creepy moments. I'm like, you didn't need the loud sound. You didn't need it. You didn't need it. It was already scary. I had that problem with Sinister.
Oh my God, Sinister. Yeah.
Sinister was the worst with that. It's like, why the loud sound? That was already scary. So that was my big problem with the scares in this, were the loud sounds. One example I really like, because remember it was a picture book in the
book. That's where Richie sees it.
Yeah, and then there's like the photo album that comes
Yes.
to life. That's a big thing in the book. I like that they updated it to the slideshow.
Yeah.
Where they're looking at the slides and then Pennywise takes over the slides and
Yeah.
he's on there. I'm like, oh, that's actually really, really cool. And I didn't expect him to be in the room as a giant. When he disappears and he's like a giant, that actually made me jump.
No, that's the thing is, this movie is scary.
Yeah.
It is
Yes.
scary. The book is not scary.
Yeah.
But the book, the story, the best way to explain the book, I feel like, is saying like the story is about the book is about friendship
And becoming like an adult. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is like it is a story about friends and what's the word I'm looking for? Losing innocence.
Yeah.
But it just so happens to be wrapped around scary, horrible acts happening around these individuals.
Yeah. Yeah.
The movie is straight up just a horror movie.
Yes. Yes.
I feel like unfortunately the first one does it not in a bad way, but it could have done better. But I don't really feel like you get the overall essence of the book in the first chapter film.
Yeah.
Because, and I understand it, it's any movie that should have been longer, one should have been longer than two, personally.
Yes. Yes.
There's no reason why I think 2 needs to be 2.5+ hours.
Well,
I think 1 could have been 2.5+ hours.
I know why they made it 2.5 hours. But yeah, so the scares I thought were good.
They're great.
And all
They
the
are good.
changes, but like the mummy doesn't make sense. And then you're right, at one point he starts to turn into the werewolf. And I'm like, are any of these kids scared of werewolves? Like, I know werewolf and mummy movies were still being made, but like none of that was like an established fear. They're not like, hey, did you see Monster Squad?
Yeah.
So I think him turning into those other monsters just to please the book fans who knew that he turned into that was kind of weak.
Well, he also, when King wrote the book, he did that on purpose. He said he wanted it to be your textbook horror film.
Yeah.
And that's why he brought all those characters, because he wanted, like, every person at that point at time what you thought was scary that people knew about, that's what he wanted to put in the book.
But I think they just could have done more with that. But yeah. Eventually you get to the end where, Henry Powers tries to attack them. It doesn't go well. They just literally throw him down the well. Like, bye, Henry. After he kills his dad. Oh, the subliminal stuff in this movie is great.
Oh, the TV and stuff?
Yes. So one, you missed the librarian. But yeah, there's little stuff where like Pennywise is like hidden in pictures. But I love whenever you listen to the TV.
Yes.
It gets more obvious as it goes on.
Everyone needs to go down to the
But
sewer.
early, if you're not paying attention, you don't hear them being like, yeah, the sewer is a great place to go, and the sewer is fun, and blah, blah, blah.
The sewer is a fun place to play with all of your friends.
And they start to introduce early on that like a lot of people in the town might be evil, including the pharmacist, who in the book was not evil, but they made him one of the assholes.
Well, that's another thing is like the people, there's a couple of things that they've ruined personally for me.
Yeah.
The people, every adult is an evil person. I don't like that. The rock fight, they ruined it.
Yeah.
They ruined the rock. They turned it into, I don't need a scene with a bunch of heavy metal music playing and stuff like that. Like, this was a very pivotal point of their friendship, and it was very impactful. And like, it was a big deal because at that point, like, Henry had been such a fucking dick, and he finally got what was coming to him. And it's very powerful in the book. And another thing is they make the Barrens something to be scared of when that was their safe place.
Yeah.
That I texted you that. I'm like, why did they do that? Like, Barrens was where they went to hang out.
Yeah.
Because no one would come there, and that's where they could get away and be friends.
Yeah.
They even have scenes of them playing pretend jungle safari and seeing tigers in the woods and stuff like that. I'm like, but then you turn it into this. It's not their safe haven. It's more something that they're scared of, and I didn't like that.
Yeah. And he didn't like the heavy metal, but Logan was texting me. He's like, I'm so glad they played all the New Kids on the Block songs. I did like that.
That part.
Yeah, where the kid, Ben is into New Kids on the Block and only, what's her face, Bev knows.
Yeah.
And I love when they're in his room with all his research, she finds the poster and he's like, don't show them. And he shuts the door.
I like when they walk in and Ben's like, this is cool, right? And like, Richie goes, whoa. He's like, yeah, it's cool, right? He goes, no, not at all.
And they do have some bonding moment. I wish they did the dam things. That was like something they were working on all together. Instead, they have them at like the quarry jumping in there. So the ending when they fight Pennywise, to rescue Bev. That's the thing. They have a big fight after Eddie breaks his arm. And they're like, we got to rescue Bev.
Which Henry Bowers breaks his arm in the book.
Yeah. In this one, it's just because he falls through. I did like the clown room. Because Richie is afraid of clowns, apparently. Which is funny because Richie's like the last one, I think, to see Pennywise. And he's just like, why are you guys all afraid of this thing? And it's like, oh, I'm actually afraid of clowns. But one of the clowns in the room is the Tim Curry puppet, which I thought was funny. Yeah, I love all the Nemo Street stuff. But when they finally fight him at the end, again, it's the whole like...
The second time.
It's the power of belief. So originally in the book, they have the silver and they go in, they're like, silver works somewhere, it'll work on this monster. But here it's just like they have a good moment where Bill has to forgive himself for letting Georgie go out by himself, which again wasn't his fault.
No.
But he has to forgive himself. Meanwhile, Bev is floating. Oh, the float. So he constantly always says they all float down here, which is something about balloons, obviously. But I like in this version when they get there, it's all the missing kids floating. And then just a mountain of stuff that Pennywise has collected over the years, including the Pennywise the Dancing Clown car where he does his little dance, which I love. They do that effect. A couple movies on that where his head is completely still, but everything else is shaky. That dance has become iconic now.
Well, people started using that. They use that on freaking like Instagram and social media clips all the time, where because you can go in Adobe and do that.
Yeah. So yeah, the big battle, it's all them confronting their fears, and Pennywise is trying to switch through the different fears to fight them, but they're too strong together. And I like that. It's kind of like Terminator 2 when he's just going through all his different forms. So yeah, he turns into the mummy and everything. And then we get a hint of the spider. And I remember being in the theater, I went, oh no, because he gets his spider legs. And I'm like, I know it's from the book, but that's kind of what ruined the old movie. What are they going to do? So I like that they teased it a little bit.
I don't like how they flipped it. That bothered me a little bit. Like I like how this technically is the second time they fight him. Is technically the first time they fight him in the book.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then
because when they go to the house, it's just the werewolf chases them away and he gets cut.
No. They fight him with the slingshot. Bev hits him in the slingshot in the house.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that's the whole.
That's where they get the idea.
A belief.
Yeah.
Because she's out.
Yeah.
She only made 2 bullets.
Yeah.
And she lost one. But the thing is, they believe that she still had it.
So whatever power Pennywise is using to take on these forms, other people can manipulate that power against him.
Exactly. And this makes sense to when, Mike only gave him 1 cartridge. And he's like, well, he's only got 1 cartridge. But he's out.
But like Bill doesn't know that because everyone's yelling, so he believes it's loaded.
Exactly. And it works.
Yeah. And I like that, but it's just kind of like, I like the original one where it's like silver works on monsters, but in this one, like, we're just going to shoot it with an air gun.
Well, yeah. Cool. Well, the first, and that's another, okay, because that makes sense a little bit because with the air gun, because it was established early in the film.
Yeah.
In the book, my favorite scene in the entire book is when Bill and Richie go to Neil Bolt Street first.
And they bring their dad's gun.
You kill my brother, you fucker. And he starts blasting at him.
Yeah. I did like that moment where he's yelling at all them. There's like, I'm going with it. Why? He's like, he didn't stutter once.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't stutter once.
That scene. So like it being like kind of like of a gun at the end.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing is like anything can hurt it as long as you believe it can hurt it.
Yeah.
So any weapon could hurt it.
Yeah. And so I like this moment where they all team up and fight him. And it's a cool moment because like Pennywise, it is supposed to end his cycle. It's 27 years, give or take, they say. 27 years, and it always ends with a huge catastrophe.
Yes.
or some big bloody event.
And then, like, I think in Derry, they go into more detail because it's a certain number it usually is.
Yeah. And then in this one, like they overpower him, and now he's gonna like not starve to death, but he's gonna like starve because he didn't get to finish what he was supposed to do before he sleeps. Why he sleeps, I don't know. He's just a bunch
hibernates, I guess.
I guess a bunch of lights need. I guess he can't be killing everyone all the time because it'll just kill the whole town. He's like, oh, let's wait for more kids to be born, and then I'll come back. So yeah, I like that they defeat him. And there's a cross dissolve. We don't see how they get out of the sewers. So if you really like that one part from the book, you could just pretend it happened. They don't bring any attention to it at all. Everyone knows the classic book scene where I'm just like, Steven, I mean, a kiss would have been fine. What if they all kissed Bev? That would have been fine.
The biggest thing I don't, like, I get where he's going for. I get it. But he's very descriptive.
Yeah. Also,
okay, we're talking about children. I don't even know how big Ben's dick is.
Oh, no, his was the biggest. They made sure to point that out in the book. I'm sorry, 12-year-old, 7 dudes at once? No. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, Steven? Steven, just a kiss would have been fine. What if she kissed them all and that helped them out? Whatever, this movie does a cross dissolve. It's like in Fellowship of the Ring where it does like a little montage of them leaving the Shire and you're like, maybe they met Tom Bombadil. I don't know, but they didn't say he did. They didn't meet him. We just didn't see it. But yeah, they do the whole like, promise me, let's swear that we'll come back if it ever comes back, if it's not dead. And it ends on that note there.
With the Coke bottles.
Yep. And it ends with It Chapter 1. That's how you know a second one's coming. But rewatching this, I think it works. I think it mostly works.
So we actually get a scene of, so this scene we didn't get. And it also led to another scene we didn't get.
Okay.
But, we also got a scene in the film, the deleted scenes where Bill's talking to his family and he's like, hey, I thought we could go to our vacation spot this year. I've been really looking forward to it. And it kind of makes his dad not look too much of a dick. Just like, because his mom gets really upset and she breaks a glass, whatever. And she's like, I'm sorry, Bill, but Georgie really liked that spot. Yeah. And he ends up taking his dinner away and leaves. And then Bill's like, well, I also really liked it.
Yeah.
Like I don't fucking matter anymore. But at the end of the movie, we actually see them go on vacation.
Oh, okay. That would have been nice.
So it kind of like, almost like now there's closure for his family now that they did, I guess, what they did with Pennywise.
Yeah.
So it kind of like has a full circle thing, which would have been nice to kind of see some kind of light at the end of the tunnel for all these awful adults in the film.
Yeah. And I do like how it ends with Pennywise because this was like he wasn't expecting to get beat by those kids.
No. He was
he got real cocky because he kidnapped Bev. He's like, yeah, fuck around. I got your girl, whatever.
No, and that's another big.
That was a good scene where she confronts her dad.
Yeah.
And then like it comes out as Pennywise. I thought that was cool. Which makes me think, does she even really fight her dad, or is that just Pennywise the whole time?
Are you talking about in the movie and in the book?
In the movie version. Because she doesn't get kidnapped in the book.
No. I can't remember. I mean, well, based on what you're saying with the librarian, it probably was just Pennywise. If they're gonna if they're gonna follow suit, makes sense.
Yeah. But no, I like that he was beaten. So now he has a real reason to get revenge and go even harder in the next one, which I was excited for. But yeah, no, this one is pretty good. It tells the story mostly. Again, it left out a lot of stuff I would have liked. Mike's character is just there.
Yeah.
Knowing how important he is later, it kind of bummed me out that it's just like, oh, he's just kind of there. Cool. Awesome. Hi, I'm that other kid. Hi. Yeah. But Bill Skarsgård was great. I thought the scares were good. Other than the jump scares. I did not like the jump scares. They kind of ruined the thing. And, a couple turtle references.
Oh, yeah, they find a turtle in the water.
There's Legos made out of a turtle. Or a turtle made out of Legos.
Yeah.
Which someone pointed out they didn't have green Legos back then. So how does that exist? I think there's turtle wallpaper. A lot of turtle talk. And as someone who knew that there was this turtle that existed, I think it's more in the Dark Tower movie or books. I was just like, can't wait to see that turtle. Although now I know the book, it should have been in this part where he goes to the Deadlights and meets the turtle. Because that's the thing. In the book, he has that psychic battle.
Yeah.
And then he meets the turtle in this void.
Well, throughout the entire book, there's references to turtles all throughout the book.
Yeah. But like this is Georgie goes in, the turtle's like, I can't help you. I'm just kind of here. I made your universe. My bad. But he's basically like, hey, just kind of repeat that thing that you keep saying. Like he gives him like indirectly gives him advice.
Oh, when Bill goes in, yeah.
Yeah, that's like the point of the turtle. It's like, hey,
I can't interfere.
yeah.
I'm a fly on the wall, technically.
Yeah. I can't interfere with him, but try this out.
Yeah.
Because it hates the turtle.
Yeah.
So they clearly had some kind of falling out, and the turtle's just being like, I don't know, just repeat that poem that you do over and over again to kind of just tune out all the shit that he's saying. I mean, that might work. All right, I gotta go, bye.
Yeah.
And then again, the God is also there.
Yeah. In this universe, it's the Deadlights, the turtle, and God.
Yeah. Oh, there's other cosmic animals
Yeah.
that I was looking at the wiki. I need to read the Dark Tower. They all defend the beam. Because the turtle dies, apparently. They mention in the book.
Yeah, he dies, but doesn't he show back up though? I think he's just lying to him.
Well, it's not clear. It's a different voice shows up at the end. That's Gan or God. At the end of the book goes, good job, kids, for killing that dude. And they're like,
I thought that was the turtle coming back.
No.
Because he says in the book, he goes, the turtle's dead. He threw up inside his shell and killed himself. I'm like,
no, I Googled who that other voice was.
Okay.
And apparently that's Gan, whoever the hell that is. I didn't read those books yet. So yeah, a lot of turtle references, a lot of references to stuff from the book that I now appreciate. Again, I like this more now that I have read the novel, even though it makes changes I didn't like. But yeah, overall solid. And then a couple years later, they did It Chapter 2, same director. So It Chapter 2 came out in 2019. They have a writer, Gary Dauberman. He's the only writer this time who wrote the Annabelle movies and The Nun, which I actually like the Nun movies. I like the Annabelle movies, not so much the first one, but the other two are good.
I love Nun 1's. Nun 1's phenomenal. I love Nun
I like
1.
both those, but we have a Conjuring episode, a big what is the worst Conjuring episode. But yeah, real quick, before we get into the movie, let's just talk about if we liked the older actors or not. Here we go. So apparently the younger actors were guessing who would play them. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if Sophia didn't look in a mirror that day, because she said Jessica Chastain. I think she just picked whatever popular redhead was there. How do you feel about Jessica Chastain as Beverly Marsh? Did you agree with this casting?
So I was not too familiar with her when she came out. I just remember when she got on screen, I was like, oh, that lady, she's pretty.
Look, yeah.
But then after reading the book, she is an adult Beverly.
I get that,
because she's Stephen King's very adamant. She's very beautiful and very voluptuous.
Yes. I like Jessica Chastain as an actress. She's annoying on social media. I like Jessica Chastain. Very, very good actress.
Bryce, what's her? Bryce
Dallas Howard.
She could have.
I want to bring that up in a second. I like Jessica Chastain. Great actress. Plays the part really well. Looks nothing like the younger Beverly. Like, Jessica Chastain, it works for her. This isn't a negative. I said this before. She has kind of skeletal kind of eyes and whatnot. They're a little sunken in. These aren't bad descriptions. It works for her. But it looks nothing like the actress. And I'm just like, this isn't her at all. And someone pointed out, now that girl's a little bit older, someone pointed out that Kristen Wiig should have played this. I'm like, Kristen Wiig actually looks a lot more like the younger actress and probably would have been a little bit better, to be honest.
I don't know if I would have. I couldn't see her doing
just looks wise at least. Just looks wise at least. Again, I wouldn't be so hung up if they all didn't look like the kid actors, but then the other ones are really good. So when you get to her, it's like, but she plays the part well. And then they get another one that doesn't look quite like the kid, James McAvoy, who again is a good choice. No, sorry. Verizon thanks me for setting up. I guess I'm getting signal again. All right. So James McAvoy as I just got your text. Sorry, we're filming this the day that Verizon's network went down, and I guess it's back now. There we go. Okay, all good. That's fine. I'm glad it's fine. Logan. All right. So James McAvoy as Bill, the older Bill. He doesn't look too much like the younger kid, but they came up with a good way. They also gave him long flowing hair. Which is really funny because Bill is a little chubby in the book and is bald in
Yes.
the book. And James McAvoy is someone who has played a bald guy multiple times and would have shaved his head for it. And nope, they were like, no, you're going to have beautiful flowing hair. And it was funny. It's one thing because, like, the original miniseries, they got what's-his-face to play Bill. Who has a
With the
huge,
long ponytail.
long
Oh, my
ponytail.
God.
Like, did everyone just miss the bald part of the book?
Yeah.
Did we all just forget that? Yeah, so he's a good choice, I guess. And
He
then
did okay with what he was provided.
yes. Bill Hader as the adult Richie Tozer.
I love Bill Hader.
Yes, I like Bill Hader too. Casting wise, we're not really talking about like how the characters were played, but casting wise, Bill Hader as Richie Tozer, like that works.
Well, I think that you know how he got the job, right?
No.
What's his Finn? What's his
Finn Wolfhard. Yeah, I think he suggested it.
He suggested, he goes, well, who would you want to play you as an adult in chapter 2? He's like, well, I really like Bill Hader. So they went to Bill Hader because of him saying that.
Yeah. And thank God he did it.
And that's what he said. He goes, thank God to Finn Wolfhard because I wouldn't have gotten this role if he didn't suggest it.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a good choice. Isaiah Mustafa as Mike Hanlon. I'm
Great.
not too familiar with this actor.
He looks a lot like an adult Mike, I think.
Oh, and he apparently was a football player. I didn't know that. He was a wide receiver. Okay. What other movies is he in? He's been in a lot, actually.
He looks like a younger version of the Old Spice guy.
He does, actually. Oh God, he went uncredited in the new I Know What You Did Last Summer. Good job being uncredited. That movie was terrible. But yeah, he's been in a couple films. He was in Medea's Happy Family. He looks just like the kid. That was good casting, even though I'm not really familiar with that actor. And then Jay Ryan is Ben Hansen. He's the one that's allowed to look different.
Yeah.
Because that's a big point is like when Ben got older, because his mom was fattening him up because she had her own issues. And he decided to join a track team. He ate salads. He got like real fit. So he's allowed to look different.
I remember though there was word that Chris Pratt was going to be Ben as an adult Ben, but clearly that didn't work out.
Oh, 2019, he was too busy. 2019, Chris Pratt, he's doing Jurassic Parks, Guardians, Marvel. He wouldn't have had time for this. But yeah, I'm not too familiar with this actor. It seems mostly like Australian TV stuff. But
yeah, when he's on the screen, I'm like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is.
But he did a good job. And then this one's kind of sad. James Ransone as Eddie Casbrack.
Yeah.
He just committed suicide not too long ago, which is a bummer. I actually looked through his credits. I'm like, wow, he was actually in a lot of stuff that I've seen.
He was in Black Mirror. He was on The Wire, dude.
Yeah, he was on The Wire.
And he's one of the best characters in season 1 of The Wire.
He's in both Black Phones. He's the brother in Black Phone 1. And then
I haven't seen 2 yet.
Oh, he just cameos as his ghost self. He like literally shows up with the axe in his head. As the grown-up Eddie, great casting. There's even that one cross dissolve that they do, and they look exactly alike. And then Andy Bean as adult Stanley Uris looks just like the kid. He's not in the movie much, but yeah, looks just like him. And of course, Pennywise is back, baby. Bill Skarsgård. Now that we got the cast out of the way, can you please read the back of the box for It Chapter 2?
A truly epic conclusion to one of the greatest horror stories in cinematic history. Jake Hamilton from Fox TV.
Good job, Jake.
After 27 years, it has returned as people begin to disappear in Derry. Mike calls the rest of the Losers Club.
You're doing what Ben did.
Lovers Club. Right?
The cast where Bev turns it into a V.
Mike calls the rest of the Losers Club home so they can destroy it once and for all. Damaged by the past, the losers must conquer their deepest fears to take on Pennywise, who is now deadlier than ever.
Even though he kind of starved. It opens up much like the novel with the gay guys being attacked.
Yep.
By some homophobes, then thrown over the bridge. And we see Pennywise save the guy only to just chomp right into his side. We never see these characters again because there's a whole thing where like the cops are investigating.
Yeah, and they go to trial for it and everything.
I thought this opening scene was good. It was a good way to bring Pennywise back. Because remember, they don't really bring it up too much in the previous movie because people get the idea that Pennywise can only kill kids. No, he can kill.
He just prefers children.
Prefers kids. So yeah, how Pennywise is, he prefers kids. They have more active imaginations. It gives them an excuse to be more crazy things.
Well, also,
they have better fear.
Yeah, they get scared easier with the pheromones that you release when you get the cortisol, because when you get scared, the cortisol, and apparently that makes the meat more tender and delicious.
Yeah. If Pennywise were to go after me, he'd be the form of a email that says my channel's been deleted. Or he'd be like the bill I get for my tax lady at the end of the year.
It'd be a text message, "I'm pregnant, Tony."
Yeah, that would be Pennywise coming after me. My engine light coming on when I'm about to drive really far. That's how Pennywise would get me. So yeah, he can go after adults. And by the way, he can technically just kill whoever he wants.
Yeah.
Which we see a little bit in Welcome to Derry when he's had his fun. He's like, "I'm going to just kill this guy." He can kill whoever he wants. And even the book says he's gone after elderly people. He does go after adults. But I think he doesn't want to draw too much attention. So I think that's why he goes after kids mostly. But like if it's an adult, it's just like homeless people or crazy people. So it opens up with him killing the gay guy, which people who didn't know that was in the book were very upset about. We have this problem now, and I talk about this sometimes, where like people really like bad guys and villains, and it's like, yeah, for some reason it's okay for all these killers to kill people, but as soon as they're mean to gay people or racist,
glorifying,
or sexist, suddenly becomes an issue. It's like, yeah, they're violent murderers. Like,
you're not supposed to be rooting for this person.
That's the thing. Like, I know it's fun to like the bad guy, but like, I just think that was out of line. I'm like, he's an interdimensional space spider who doesn't care. He likes violence and people being mean. He thrives on, he would kill anyone, really. Yeah. So people had a problem with that. It's like, look, I know you want to like...
He's killed children that are 2.
He's been killing children this entire time. He blew up a goddamn Easter egg hunt. Why do you think he'd be like, well, I don't want to be homophobic? It's like he's not even from this universe. He doesn't care about anything. That's actually one of his big downfalls in the book is like he like hates humans, really. He doesn't want to be he doesn't want to like be compared to them or anything. He doesn't think he can be defeated by these creatures that he thinks are beneath him. His overconfidence is his weakness, obviously. Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was a good opening. I did love like all the balloons coming down.
Yeah.
That was a really solid start to the movie. We even get a little flashback of like what happened after the first movie ended with what's his face, Henry, coming home and the cops are waiting for him. But I like that all the dead kids got washed out with him when the sewer flooded. So they were like, yeah, Henry did it. He did it all. But yeah, so Mike gets a hold of the story, and then we get how we usually do, where it's him calling all the people as adults now and telling them that it is back and they have to come back. So there's some weird changes here. So Ben is a screenwriter, which he was doing in the movie.
Yeah, he's working on the screen for his adaptation of his book.
Yes. But this movie gets a little meta, and it's kind of making fun of how people criticize Stephen King's endings.
Yeah.
So apparently the studio wants to change the ending because they don't like it. And again, very meta. And he doesn't agree with that. And his wife is actually the actress from Teeth, Jessica Wexler, I think. Yeah, the actress from Teeth. My problem, I'm glad you brought up Bryce Dallas Howard, because people used to confuse the two of them.
Oh, gotcha.
There was even a song called I'm Not Jessica Chastain, and Jessica Chastain dressed like Bryce from Jurassic World and lip synced the song. This should have been Bryce Dallas Howard, because it's revealed in the book that Bill always loved Bev, that he subconsciously married a woman who looked like her later on in life. That would have been a fun reference. But yeah, I don't even know why Audra's in this, because she never comes back.
No.
They don't do the kidnapping thing at all. Because again, they already used
Well, they don't go into details at all. The only person who goes into details about anything about what's happening is literally just Bev when she's telling is it Tom, right?
Yeah, Tom.
When she's telling Tom, like that's the only thing. Like they just get a phone call and then they show up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of back and forth between him and Audra. Like, what do you mean you got a brother? You never told me you had a brother.
Yeah.
All that stuff is going on, and the same thing goes with like Eddie. You know what's called like? What do you mean? Who's gonna drive Al Pacino?
Yeah. Okay. So Eddie's thing in the book was that he ran a cab company.
Yeah.
Which makes sense at the end of the book where they're like, by the way, he has the Shining. His ability is he can find directions without knowing. Obviously, they got rid of that, so he doesn't need to be a cab driver. So for this, he's a risk analyst, which kind of makes sense if he's been afraid of everything his whole life.
Yeah.
Did you notice this detail with his wife? So his wife is literally the actress who played his mother.
Oh, just with the wig on?
Yeah, just with the wig, because they make a reference in the book that, I mean, the original movie, he's just living with his mother.
Yeah.
And then he's a virgin at the end. I thought that was mean. I don't know why the original movie did that, the 90s one. But I like that because the book explains that he subconsciously married a woman exactly like his mother. And when I saw it, I'm like, oh, that's the same actress. That's really funny.
That's funny.
So yeah, risk analyst. He gets into a car accident when Mike calls him. Richie, he's not a radio DJ man.
No.
He's a stand-up comedian.
So my girlfriend caught me masturbating to her friend's Facebook page.
Which I thought was a good change. I actually think the 90s one did that too. They made him a stand-up guy. Like he's on the Tonight Show making jokes.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he throws up right away and then he bombs on stage. They made a couple changes to Richie.
Yeah.
Richie, who's like a real ladies man. In the first one, he's real into the girls. And in the book, he had a girlfriend that he almost got pregnant, he thought. It was a whole thing. In this movie, it's revealed that he's gay for one scene.
And I'm sorry, but this is so, I think it was the dumbest character change. Because it's like, the movie came out 2019. It's 2019.
Yeah.
You dirty little secret. It's 2019.
Yeah.
That's not a secret. He can be open.
Well, I know at the beginning they had homophobes, but keep in mind, Derry is kind of under its influence. So he kind of makes people even worse than they are.
But the thing is he moved away.
Yeah.
He's
like, I don't know if I can be an out homosexual in Hollywood. I'm like, in Hollywood? Everyone is. What are you talking about? Yeah, that was a weird, again.
And going back into the book.
Yeah.
There's only one scene where I don't think there's anything that's any kind of lingering. The only thing that I can think of that could maybe have any kind of significant value to making him somewhat liking men is when him and Mike go on the spiritual journey.
Yes.
And the whatever that thing is they build.
They do the
smoke thing.
Yeah.
And there's something where he says he talks where he like looks at him and he looks at Mike and he realizes he loves him. But that could just be the fact that they're getting really close on this spiritual journey they're taking.
Not to be anti-woke YouTuber. But this was the time where they were like, you got to put a gay guy in there. You got to put this in there. And they were like, they're like, the only gay character in the movie can't be the one who got killed. And I know the bullies were kind of gay in the book. They can't be the bad guy. So like, you just have to put one in there. I'm like, I mean, you don't have to, it really is just for one scene.
And it doesn't come back up later. It has no relevance whatsoever.
No.
Unless they're trying to be like, oh, he was secretly in love with Eddie. I'm like, no, but
I don't know why they were doing it because Eddie is never romantically into him. Like they were just friends.
No.
That was like really bizarre. That was a weird change that felt like a studio thing.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah. There's just like, well, we got to put one in there. I'm like, well, not really. You don't have to. Unless it makes sense. I mean, there's plenty of other Stephen King books with gay guys. Actually, I think Long Walk in the book it suggests that they're gay, and the movie didn't really.
No, there's nothing in there.
I thought there was. I thought I read the book like the one dude might be gay.
No. I mean, I've listened to the book twice, and there's nothing in like a lot of them like. The one, okay, yes, there's one character where they keep on talking back and forth about women and he has no comment about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I was thinking about the main two characters that the movie really focuses on.
Yeah.
But no, like, I mean.
I'm just saying, there's other Stephen King stuff with gay people. I don't know why.
No, yeah.
But like the fact that it wasn't even hinted at. I mean, you could say it was a misdirect in the first movie, but it literally is just that one scene. And then I don't think he brings it up to any of the other characters later on.
No.
There's no allusions to it. Like when Pennywise is getting all their fear at the end, him and Eddie have some weird thing that has nothing to do with their personal fears.
Well, they did that in the first movie, and they did it again in the
Oh,
second movie. Yeah.
But I mean, at that specific moment in time at the end, it is going hardcore on whatever scares them the most. And then for Eddie and Richie, and they're like, oh, I'll do the closet thing with them again. Anyway, and it's like, wait, what? What is this?
No.
Yeah, so him being gay, it's just, again, if it was like actually in his character, but it's just that one part. And then never again. Which I thought was weird. So that's Richie. Who else we didn't? Ben, I think, is fine. His character didn't change too much, I think.
No.
Really?
I mean, it's pretty accurate about the book with him creating the new architect for that new structure and stuff like that. And he still is deeply in love with Beverly.
Yeah. They cut out the whole... They tease it a little bit like Bill and Bev, but they don't end up sleeping together like they do in the novel.
Which is pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked up. And then the thing is they sleep together and then they don't end up together because because Audra's there at a big pivotal point in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but in the book.
Yeah. So I actually I don't mind them getting rid of that to focus on the Ben, because that's who you really want to see get together.
Well, yeah, of course.
Bev's storyline, her with her husband, that is pretty much taken from the book, where he is abusive, he is a piece of shit.
And she also is she's a designer.
Yes.
Yeah, and that they make sure when her and Bill talk, oh, you did that. Yeah. So she is very taken care of.
Yeah. And they do like the whole scene pretty standard where he like attacks her and everything, but they don't bring him back. Audra and Tom never come back at the end. Cause that's the whole thing. Like, what is it? Tom, I think, kidnaps Audra for Pennywise.
And takes her and he, if I can remember correctly, Pennywise through Tom gets her with the deadlights.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's how she goes back
Yeah.
to where everybody else is in the sewers.
And I think he kills Tom. Tom definitely dies, I think.
I don't actually, to be honest, I don't remember what happens to Tom. After he gets Audra, I don't remember what happens.
I think maybe the deadlight. I think he just kills him with the deadlights or something. But yeah, so Tom and Audra never come back. I know you have to put Tom in this to show that Bev ended up marrying her dad, kind of, really. But Audra was just there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that story was okay. And then there's Stanley, who, you know, the most scared of the group, ends up killing himself.
Yeah.
And if they had left it there, it would have been fine. But we'll get to the ending later.
If you think about it, though, when Stanley dying, it's funny because he is the only one to make it out and have a happy life.
I mean, they seem to be doing okay.
No, it's like Stanley. I'm saying Stanley had he gets out and actually has a good life. Yeah. There's not like Ben got out, became architect, still is in love with Beverly.
Yeah.
Bill gets out and is still things aren't all happy dory because he's writing these books, but a lot of people are talking shit about him.
Yeah.
Mike has been just focused on.
He's never left. That's the thing. Mike has never left. He's really gotten into the whole thing. He's done a ton of research on it. So he could be prepared for when they all come back.
Yeah. And then you got Bev, like you said, marrying her dad, you got Eddie marrying his mom and stuff like that. But if you look at Stan's life, he really was the only one who had a happy outcome. So it's sucks for that fact that he's the one who would take his own life.
Yeah. But I get it. I mean, remember in that sewer, I mean, Bev was kind of in the deadlights. And she said, we forgot to mention, she said she got to see the future when she was in the deadlights, which plays into this. But when it comes outside of the deadlights, Stan was the one who got the most fucked up. Penny, it was eating his face as his main fear.
Yeah.
So I get why he wouldn't want to come back. Although personally, could have just been no habla inglés, and then just hang up and then block the mic number. Block honey, if anyone calls from Derry, I don't exist. Ignore them. But yeah, so that I thought, I'm like, wow, that's like the original story. No way they'll fumble that. So yeah, this movie, it's supposed to be the adult's point of view, right? And here's the thing. I went and I saw this movie in theaters. I was excited for it. And I walked out going, ugh. they kind of dropped the ball on that one.
Yes. The execution on this film was like, did you watch the previous film?
Oh, they did. I think the first one was such a big hit that they were like, we got to bring the kids back. And it's like, I thought you purposely structured this in a way where this could just be the adult story. And then this movie, they're constantly flashing back to them being kids.
They're retelling things that they didn't bring up. Well, don't bring it up now, because when would this have happened?
And here's the thing. They try to find a workaround. They're like, well, Derry makes us forget. We have to remember stuff we might have forgotten. I'm like, yeah, but the first movie was just being played straight. It wasn't being told by anyone. Yeah. If the first movie was someone telling the story and then they forgot, that could have worked. But that's not what happened.
Yeah.
They're constantly flashing back. And I was like, I remember being in the theater going, what was the point of separating the two stories then? Mm-hmm. And that's why this one's like 3 hours long, because we're revisiting them as kids. I'm like, I already told that part. I guess they wanted to work in some stuff from the books, like the Giant Paul Bunyan, which, yeah, I am glad they did do Giant Paul Bunyan. I'm glad they did Giant Paul Bunyan, even if it looks like shit. I'm glad that they did that.
Eddie going to get his cast signed on the second one.
Yeah.
That was shot for the first one.
Oh, really?
That was the repurposed.
Oh, okay.
That was a repurposed
Gotcha.
cut scene.
Gotcha. Yeah, so the flashbacks to them as kids, which I'm glad that they showed the underground thing, but I could tell that they kind of digitally airbrushed some of the kids because maybe they were starting to hit puberty or whatever. I just thought it was kind of pointless because they come up with this whole thing like, we have to look. They do the ritual chud, which is very different from the book. Like,
very different.
We need artifacts. We need artifacts that tie into our past, like a moment we had with Pennywise that we could put in this thing that we learned from the Shakapiwa Indians, which I think they mention Native Americans in the book, but it's not like a big thing.
It's nothing like this at all.
Yeah.
That's where they get the idea to do the smoke.
Yeah, but I don't even think it was related to a local Derry tribe.
No. Yeah.
However, I do like that this movie introduced this because it led to some cool stuff in the series. So yeah, they have to find these artifacts from their childhood that related to that summer that they could put in a thing and do this ritual. So they go out and they have these flashbacks to things we never seen. Like Ben sees Bev
as on fire,
yeah, chasing and bullying him. Although I did like that Pennywise is in the locker at that point. That was pretty funny. What was the other one?
We get Bev,
yeah,
which was in the book,
yeah,
of her going to meet Pennywise's daughter.
Yes, which again is another thing that comes up in the show, and that scene I thought was really good.
In the book, oh my God, so in the book when we get to her drinking the tea, it's shit.
Yeah, it's really fucking. And that scene is really creepy with her in the background. That lady just died too, the old lady.
Oh shit.
Some people have brought up timeline issues because of Welcome to Derry, and I'm like, well, obviously in chapter 2 it wasn't really the old lady, it was Pennywise, but they play into her dad, who was a clown, because remember in the book Pennywise says his real name is Bob Gray.
Yeah.
And then we meet a character later on saying like, my dad was Bob Gray and he was a clown, and that's like the first part of the book where it's like, oh, was Pennywise a real dude? Like, that's not something the creature made up. Like, that must have been a real guy, and he must have had a daughter, but they don't really go much into that backstory.
No, and it's like you said, like in the series, it changes. We get a little bit more into it, and just like, at one point in time, he is a shapeshifter, and he will change into whatever he needs to best fit his prey. And that's when he comes up with the idea to create the clown that we see as, and he's in his clown phase, like you said earlier.
And we get to see like the original, like him in the Bob Gray form and everything. And her relic is the note that she got from Ben. So yeah, they're all doing this. They're all having different scary experiences with Pennywise, and there's a lot of horror moments in this movie. But I think we can talk about the big issue with this film is tone.
Oh my God.
They undercut so much shit with jokes.
Ruined every moment. And the other thing is like this is when we get into a lot of big differences from the book.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where like we just get complete change scenes whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's almost like they kind of wrote. Now, I don't want to say they even wrote themselves into a hole, but like I don't know what they were thinking with this. Like in the first film, we got a couple laughs here and there.
It's fine to have moments of levity here and there. It can even be a horror comedy, really, but
there's so much like the freaking leopard scene and cutting to.
Oh my God! Yeah,
the music. There's so many music cuts that don't need to be there.
Yeah, it's cut like a comedy. Which again, if the first one was a straight comedy horror, but it wasn't. But yeah, so Ben gets to meet the leper again. It attacks like his mom. He's imagining it, and then the leper throws up on him, and it's
Eddie. Sorry,
Eddie.
Yeah.
And it starts playing "You're My Angel." Why is this playing? What is this?
And then once again we see Eddie again later with Henry Bowers.
Yeah.
When he gets stabbed in the face and they make it a freaking joke. And it's like, I'm like, that should have been, this scene should have been full of like body horror tension.
Yeah.
Because he got stabbed in the face with a knife.
Yeah, and he's like, you should cut that bullet. It's been like 30 years.
So fucking stupid.
Oh my God.
And the ending scene, once again, they ruined Eddie's character.
Yes.
They ruined everything that kid put on to make you like Eddie in the first film. And it's not the actor's fault. It's just they ruined that character.
Yeah, they made him really annoying in the hideout where he's playing with the paddle ball.
Oh
and
my
everything.
God, they turned him into Richie. They turned him into Richie. Really?
Yeah, they're all like I like Bill Hader. I like him being funny, but there were so many moments in this movie where he shouldn't have been. When they find their old hideout, which of course he falls through. He's like, found it. And they're down there, and in a minute you think Pennywise there, and it's just Bill being like, remember we used to do that? And it's just like, dude, this isn't like a funny moment right now.
Beat, motherfucker. But it hits with the deadlights. I'm like, and he's like, I'm like,
yeah.
That could have been the coolest freaking scene.
Yeah.
But you ruin it with dumb shit like that.
And again, if there weren't so many jokes before that point, then maybe it could have worked. But it's way too jokey to the point where like you forget you're watching a horror movie.
Yeah.
Which sucks because it starts off pretty well with the kill, with the bridge and everything. And there are good moments in this film. But like, I don't know what they were thinking, just trying to undercut everything with the joke. Like even at the Chinese restaurant, when all the things come out of the fortune cookies, like the dead bird, which, okay, all the fortune cookie stuff had something to do with them in the book. Like the eyeball is because Richie watched a movie about like a killer eye, like recently.
Well, then also when he sees the eye in the sewer.
Yes. Okay, I guess they played it that way. But then like I think Mike sees like a bird, and that's the thing because in the book, this might shock you. In the It novel, Mike gets attacked by a miniature Rodin.
Yes.
A bird. Apparently there was a bird that attacked him as a kid. Mixed with Rodin because he watched it with his dad. I remember I called Johanna, I'm like, hey, Rodin was in the fucking It novel.
Which we get in Welcome to Derry at the very last episode.
Yeah, they kind of do that, yeah. Because and then in the book, his dad also saw a bird.
Yes.
So yeah, the comedy and the jokes really hurt this. And I'm someone who likes horror comedy, but it's too much. It's too much. Like, yeah. So the Chinese restaurant, all that horrifying stuff happens. They find out Stand Eyes is like, check please. And you know what? If they did like, can we get the check? That would have been fine. But then they have the kid going, the fun's just beginning. And then it turns out the kid was just a fan. He thought it was Pennywise. Like, you want a picture? And I'm like, there's too many jokes. It's too many jokes. Let's slow down. Also, that poor kid. That poor fucking kid keeps interacting with these asshole adults, and then he gets killed in that fun house, which I thought that scene was pretty fun.
But that kid, and that's funny thing, that kid's actually in the book.
Yeah.
But he doesn't die.
He doesn't die. We get the little girl. I like the moment with the little girl underneath the bleachers.
That was a cool new scene. I like that.
That was really cool. Reminded me of the beginning of the 90s one with the little girl.
Mm-hmm. On the tricycle, yeah.
You're supposed to say 3.
Again, so like, there's so many good moments like that, and then there's all these jokey fucking moments. It's either melodramatic or jokey, and then occasionally scary and good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some like specific moments. Scare wise.
I'm not gonna lie. I will say the second one, a lot of the scare scenes are ruined with horrible CGI.
Yeah.
They put
And
way
green
too much
screen, yeah.
CGI with the new Pennywise versus when they were using practical effects and mouth teeth guards and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It really fucked things up big time. The woman in the apartment is not scary at all.
I thought she was pretty creepy coming out.
I just
The
thought
more
she-
you look at her, the less
Yeah.
scary
Well,
she
the
gets. But when she
second-
first comes out, like, ah.
Well, the second film, I didn't like the new leopard. I didn't like the way it looked.
He looked different. I thought he was the same level.
No, if you go back, it looks very CGI, while the first one looked very practical.
Remember when Pennywise is like, no one wants to laugh at a clown anymore, and then Richie runs away, and then his head starts to melt like a yolk?
That was dumb.
What was that? Although I did like when he was singing the song, all the people behind him were like rocking back and forth. Thought that was fun. Again, weird CGI stuff that doesn't work as well, and then obviously a bunch of jokes. Mostly with Richie is where all the jokes are. And I get that he's the funny guy, but it's too goddamn much. And I think we talked about it at the end, when Pennywise is like, when he's really fearing and he's trying to use all their biggest fears, Richie and Eddie are dealing with a Pomeranian because they make one joke about it early on.
It's so stupid.
And it's just like, well, why is Pennywise
He
using...
set. Oh, you good dog. You good dog.
Yeah, meanwhile, like, your friends are being murdered right now, and you're saying good dog. Although, again, I did like the callback where in the first movie, when they opened up the door, it was the top of the girl, and in this one, it was the girl's legs. Maybe if that had been in a different part of the movie, it would have worked better. That was not the time to do that scene. That final fight was not the time to do that scene. Also, we complained about Mike not having a lot to do. Well, they gave him a lot to do in this, and he's an asshole in this one.
He's crazy. He's crazy,
and I get it. He's been living there the whole time. But yeah, he stole stuff from Native Americans on how to deal with it. He learned about this ritual,
which they also turned into a joke.
Yeah.
He's like, I borrowed it. I found it. I stole it.
He stole it from Native Americans, and he drugs Mike. And this is what in the book when they did like the smoke.
Yes.
Yeah, where they saw its origin, but he sees its origin.
Yeah.
Because he eats. He has properties from a magical root called maturin, which is the name of the turtle. And they show a turtle at one point in the school. And there's all this turtle stuff. And I texted you. I had to fact check if that was real. We were going to get the turtle in this movie. They apparently even shot the green screen for it.
Mm-hmm.
But James McAvoy was, I guess, going to go in the deadlights and see the giant turtle. It had like a weird human face on top of the turtle face. And then they decided not to use it. And I'm like, that's fine. Just stop showing me so many turtles, making me think I'm going to see the turtle. That's the problem. They keep doing all these. This movie, the original movie, not one fucking turtle in it because they knew they weren't going to use it. Not one goddamn turtle. And all these new ones, it's like turtle. I'm like, then just show the fucking thing. Come on.
It's stupid. I'm sorry. I don't like, I feel bad about saying this, but like really like, it's just the things they change that don't freaking work.
Yeah.
Adding humor to something that should be super tenseful, which ruins the final result when you should care about individuals. It doesn't make you care. You have an actor who's, to be honest, a very good actor like Bill Hader, and you don't utilize him to his actual capabilities.
No.
James McAvoy, I feel like his performance in this film, I feel like is kind of forgetful, to be honest.
I forgot. Before I turned it on, I forgot that he was Bill in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, James McAvoy was in this.
I mean, there's so like,
oh god, his scene with Stephen King.
I like that. I like that.
Stephen King has a cameo, which Stephen, I don't know why you're trying to change history here, but I read that book, and the guy who is in charge of the thrift store or whatever is a gay man who wears fishnet shirts.
Yes.
And has like crazy hair and everything. And like, Stephen, did you even try? Did you even put up a fight saying, hey, I want to make sure you have a fishnet shirt for me. I need this to be as I imagined it. Doesn't even do a gay voice or anything.
Nah.
He's just Stephen King.
But I will say he did. I like it because he's like also like put on a super thick,
Yeah.
main accent,
Yeah.
like very thick.
And then he's also making. I didn't like the ending.
Yeah.
He's like, when we signed that book, no, I didn't like the ending. They basically turned Bill into Stephen King.
Well, he's like, I like when he goes to buy the bike. He's like, for you, 300. You could afford it. Big time rider, y'all. Big time rider, y'all.
And here's another moment with Silver, the bike.
Which is, Silver is one of the best parts of the book.
Yeah. Although kids saying "Hi ho, Silver away," that was bigger in like the 50s.
Yeah.
than him saying in the 80s. But I like that he's like, this bike could outrun the devil. And then comedy scene of the bike not working.
Fucking ruins it.
I'm like, again, individually, these are all kind of funny.
No, they are.
But like when you have too many of them in a row, it's like you got to drop some of these because by the time, because I watched just a compilation of just the funny bits and I'm like, this is kind of funny. This is kind of funny. But when you're like into the movie and then it's undercut with a joke, I'm like, oh, okay. And then you're back into it, undercut with a joke.
Well, like when Eddie dies and he goes, "I fucked your mother." That's funny.
It's kind of funny.
But it's his last moment. Those are the last words he says. I fucked your mother.
If he wasn't saying "good boy" to a Pomeranian before, it would have hit a little bit harder, I guess.
I don't know.
So yeah, Pennywise is just fucking with them again. He's happy they're back. He's been really wanting to kill all of them. Mike has a plan to do the ritual of Chud. But don't worry, someone else is coming back. Good old Henry Bowers. He doesn't get to talk to the moon. And Pennywise doesn't turn into a dog head man to kill the guy. Thought that was a bummer. Although I do like that the balloon comes back to him. Which, by the way, the adult Henry Bowers, let me double check this. We reviewed a movie with him. So the adult Henry Bowers is played by Teach Grant. Sean from Leprechaun Origins. How did you not recognize him, Logan? We reviewed that last year. You didn't immediately jump up and go, "That's Sean from Leprechaun Origins" when you saw him?
I even tried to forget that review.
So yeah, they don't do the moon turning into a clown talking to him. But they do have his dead friend coming back.
Yeah, Patrick.
Even though he doesn't talk. I did like that with the balloon, how he's following the balloon. He's definitely gone crazy.
Yeah.
And then his like zombie friend is there. I thought that was cool. That was kind of creepy. He even brings him his old, like, what is it, Thunderbird?
Yeah.
For him to drive away. In the book, it was Christine.
Yes.
Because his dad was like, apparently his dad used to fantasize about having that Plymouth. And then, yeah, but obviously that wouldn't work there. So yeah, even he comes back to help Pennywise kill them, and then he gets taken out kind of pretty fast. Richie puts an axe in his head.
Well, first off, Eddie stabs him.
Yeah.
In the stomach.
Yeah.
And then when
no, the chest, actually.
Well, he stabs him in the stomach.
Oh, right.
And then when he leaves, he pulls the knife out of his chest.
Oh.
Because remember, he gets stabbed in the stomach, and then the shower curtain's hanging over it.
Oh.
And then when you see him in the parking lot, it's the chest. But it's actually, when he stabs him, it's like right here in
Where's
the stomach.
the car? Other people see the car, so I'm like, wait, where's the car coming from? Can Pennywise just make a car?
I have no idea. I don't know. And it's...
If someone had anti-it goggles, would it just be him just sitting up in the air moving, like levitating?
like an invisible car.
Yeah. So yeah, Henry Bowers there, and this is another really big change. So again, I like that they gave Mike more to do, but turned him into an asshole. But like the whole thing is in the book, like Mike is the most educated about this, and he gets taken out before the final battle. He doesn't die, but he gets stabbed by Henry.
Exactly. That's like I think Eddie gets the Mike treatment.
Yes.
Basically. And
but then Eddie gets to do the final battle.
Yeah.
Whereas Mike in the book, like he's the one who gets taken out, so they can't really rely on his knowledge. And then their numbers are like down to 5 at that point.
Yeah.
But in this, it's like, nope, Mike's going to be there. It's like, oh, okay.
And then also, like, I know we got it. Like, I know we freaking got it in the miniseries, but I still wanted to see it again with the fucking battery acid, because it also would have been really cool to see the adult version with his arm getting ripped off.
Yeah.
With trying doing the same thing again.
Instead, Eddie throws his inhaler into the bucket for the ritual, which is, so he learned a thing from the Native Americans that you have to put a bunch of relics into this thing, do a chant, and that will bring it into the bucket, like bring his essence in there. But I do like that Pennywise is like, you didn't tell him the rest of the story. They're like, what do you mean, Mike? Because apparently Mike's just been lying to them about a bunch of stuff. And it's like, okay, well, it didn't actually work with the Native Americans. But that's because they didn't think that they could kill it, but we could kill it. They're like, Mike, what the fuck? Like, you should have told us that everyone died. He even carved it off the bucket so they wouldn't know.
Well, that's another thing is like, so the deadlights and Pennywise are technically two different things. And that was the big thing is like, technically, with my understanding of the book, the deadlights stay there where it landed, and Pennywise allowed to leave. But the deadlights are not allowed to leave.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to go where it is, because you have to kill the deadlights to kill it.
Yes. I mean, it is weird that, like, Pennywise can, like, transfer the deadlights.
Yeah.
We see that it shoots the energy into Pennywise as it comes out. So he can do the deadlights anywhere, but they're, like, based there pretty much. I mean, they could be invisible. You don't have to see them. That is weird that they go to, like, the underground layer, and then they're like, there's another underground layer underneath the underground layer. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Interesting. So Mike is there at the end, so that changes things a little bit. We get another before that we get another confrontation at like the Neembold house. They change some stuff there. What was the big one I wanted to talk about around that section? Oh, another problem with the movie. Just weird references to other movies, especially The Thing.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
They literally
with Stan's head.
So Stan's head in the refrigerator is something from the book.
Yeah.
But here it's played off as a joke. And then it's literally, it just grows spider legs. Was it a spider in the book? I don't think so.
I don't recall
But this grows spider legs, and then they do, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And it's like, oh, okay, The Thing. It's a weird reference to put there. And then when Bev is actually having a good scene where she's back in the bathroom from her childhood, and all the people who have like bullied her are trying to break down the door and they're giants. I thought that was cool. But then young Henry goes, here's Johnny. Yeah, okay. Oh, The Shining. Okay. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't
the best thing at the ending, even though it's very CGI, Ben being buried in the thing. I do like when Pennywise is like, all those push-ups, all this, and you're still just a fatty. On Instagram, people use that as gym memes all the time.
I do like...
It's like when I work out so much and how I feel, you're still just a fatty. You know what? For motivation, I'm just going to print that out and put it on my ceiling. So I wake up every day and you're still just a fatty. Like, I got to work out.
That reminds me of the scene from, like, Batman Begins. All those bloody push-ups, you can't move a fucking log.
But yeah, so they all have to face their biggest fear and then... forgive themselves and forgive others, except for Richie and Eddie, who get to deal with the dog, I guess.
I don't fucking know. Man.
So yeah, there's all these changes. It's totally inconsistent. I will say one change that I thought was very good. It was a very good change. The hybrid spider Pennywise. Because I was just like, are they going to do the spider? Because I know it's in the book, but people really hate the old movie, but then again, that spider looked like shit. So, I mean, they could make a cool CGI spider, but the fear I have with that is like and I talk about this a lot on the show. There's been a bunch of movies that did this. Speaking of Stephen King, his most famous one, Lawnmower Man. It sucks when a movie has a really like good villain played by an actor who's given it all, and then they turn into a special effect at the end.
Yeah.
Because like Lawnmower Man, as cheesy as it is, Job is like interesting, and at the end he's like, ah!
Yeah.
Another one I bring up is RoboCop 2.
Oh, yeah.
I like Kane. He's like really creepy and scary, and then he's a cartoon on a robot. I'm like, feel like this isn't the same character. So I was real concerned how they were going to do the spider. And I actually really like that it is a spider with like basically a Pennywise suit on top of it. I thought that was a good compromise. What did you think?
Oh, that didn't bother me at all. I thought it was fine. Because that's another thing is like, it's not... I didn't even, she's like, to be honest, even when like in the book, it's not like any kind of like when I visioned it in the book, I felt like I had this idea of like a alien queen hybrid spider.
Yeah. Well, they mentioned it's like black and it's like spitting up silver fluid.
And it's got a sack of eggs and stuff like that.
Okay. Yep. That's a big problem.
So I think of like the alien queen with the big like
Yeah.
like the whatever sack that lays the eggs in Alien.
Mm-hmm. But no, I like that compromise with the thing. However, you brought up a good point. Like, one of the big threats we find out at the end of the novel is that it is going to have offspring.
Yeah.
It's a female, apparently, or the whatever form it can take on Earth is the basically a female. It really has no identity whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because it's just floating lights in the macroverse. But his Earth form is the spider. But yeah, they make a point to say like they put a bunch of eggs. And they have to like at one point Ben is just stomping the eggs while the rest go to fight Pennywise.
He says like he kills like 100 of them.
Yeah, I think it's just Richie and Bill.
Yeah, Richie, Bill,
are the ones that actually kill Pennywise, because then Bev stays with Audra because they find her there.
Well,
Ben is killing the eggs,
and Eddie thinks he's going to kill him.
Yeah, Eddie thinks he does the battery, and that's another thing. People make fun because they do it in the first one. This is battery acid, but in the original movie when he does it on the spider and it doesn't work, people make fun of that. But it's like, no, in the book that actually works.
Yes,
because he gets his arm bitten off, obviously. But because toward the end of the book, it just starts narrating.
Yeah, it goes.
It was a weird time for that to start narrating. He's just like, my insides are burning because of whatever that kid, guy did. I'm like, oh, it actually worked. Here they do the spear. They shoot it through his mouth, which I thought was cool. But then it stabs him, and so he still ends up dying. And then they find a new way. Oh yeah, so I really wish they would have kept the eggs there. Because I'm really on Richie's side. He's like, why don't we just leave? Mm-hmm. Why doesn't everyone just leave once they find out about this thing? But I guess because he'll always stay there. But if he has eggs, they're probably going to go out into the world. And according to the Dreamcatcher novel, one of those eggs might have survived. I was looking up if Pennywise showed up in any other books. He has. I think Tommyknockers. I think it's Tommyknockers. Apparently a character is like hallucinating while driving through Derry. And he says, I looked down a manhole and I swore I saw a clown.
Oh, yeah. And Tommyknockers, it's more like it. I don't know if they go more, but yeah, it is a alien species that are from a different universe that they're. It's kind of weird. It's like their only existence is to create things, and that's it. Like they have no like real purpose, but they can't sit at rest, and they have to constantly create and make things. It's weird. It's like, but then they're also like they're extremely intelligent, but also extremely stupid to the point where like they will kill themselves on accident by creating something that ends up killing them.
Well, I didn't read the book, but I just know that apparently in the book someone is driving through Derry and sees a clown.
Yeah,
and they think they're crazy.
It's very short.
But people have brought up, I think, chronologically, they're like, oh wait, that would actually be after it. So one of them's right. And apparently in Dreamcatcher, they come by a plaque like to the Losers Club, blah blah, and then someone spray painted over it, Pennywise lives.
Oh, okay.
So I think like leaving the egg is like maybe. I guess it's like a hive mind, just the egg will have all the memories.
Yeah, because the Tommyknockers is, I don't remember exactly what year it takes place, but it's right during the Reagan administration.
Yeah.
So, I mean, technically, I guess that's like, so the book takes place in 85, 86-ish area when they're the adults. So this would be around that time because it's a big part of it is about nuclear war, nuclear energy. And because the alien spaceship irradiates radiation.
Gotcha.
And what it does is like, the people that live within the town that the radiation is confined in starts to turn them into the alien species.
Gotcha. Okay, so there's some connection there. But, like, basically, they should have shown that there were eggs.
Yeah.
Because the whole time, I'm like, just leave. Just leave. Who gives a shit? Tell everyone else to leave.
Yeah, you got to get at a point where, like, you have to... This is why you have to kill it.
Yes. So, again, in the book, they do, like, the whole, like, the Chud, they have the psychic battle with it. in the past and I guess in the future, and Bill's able to like overcome him, and they eventually beat the shit out of the thing and rip its heart out.
Yeah.
Here they're like, okay, we have to, because Eddie says when he fought the leper, he actually fought back. And he's like, I made it feel small. And I'm like, okay, we have to make him small because he's giant at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, what if we get him through the cavern and he'll have to shrink down to get us, and then we can kill him then. But that doesn't work. So then they're like, there's more than one ways to make someone small. And I actually like the idea of this, where it's just like, oh, because again, his overconfidence. He's like, I'm the eater of worlds. And I'm also like, no, you're just a clown. So they basically bully him to death.
Yeah.
Which I like, because that's kind of like, he likes to prey on people's fears. And its biggest fear is that he's not all that great. So they're like, oh, no, you're just a clown.
Well, yeah, because they scared him.
Yeah.
They were the first people to ever do anything of that sort to them.
Yeah.
In the book.
Yeah.
So that's why it's very relevant. Like, that's why he's like, they must fucking die.
Yes. And I like that they bully him and he gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and eventually just rip his heart out. And that makes the dead lights go out. And then I think the cavern floods, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they don't do all of, because in the book, Derry gets hit with an insane storm.
Yeah.
People are dying. Like some guy gets his head cut off with a manhole cover or something.
And then also like there's one, I don't know if it's a police chief or somebody is sitting in their office, and then the roofs collapse on front of him, and like a chair from the attic or something falls on him and kills him and crushes him. He's still like holding his pen when he was in the middle of writing something.
So like something killing it like destabilizes the town. Well, also there's like millions of caverns underneath, so they're all flooding. So yeah, Eddie unfortunately dies. They all get out of there, and again, their friend died. They had to leave him behind, and then when they get out, they're just like making jokes.
Yeah.
He's like, who are you people? I can't even see you. No, really, where are my glasses? Like, not the time for jokes. Come on. But I mean, I really wanted to like this one. And like on rewatch, like now that I don't have the hype or expectation, I can kind of tolerate it a little bit more. And there are good moments here and there, but this was a huge letdown from the first one. Yeah. Now that I read the book and like knowing what they decided to keep and what they decided to change, I'm like, this doesn't make any goddamn sense. And again, 3 hours long. And you know what? It doesn't even feel like it's long enough. I feel like they did chop a bunch of shit out. And it's just...
Well, it feels like it's a bunch of chopped up shit put together.
I guess so.
That's the way I feel the movie plays.
Yeah.
Personally.
And he's talked about hopefully one day editing a super long cut. That might be the order from the book. I don't know if he can do it the way it was written, but I would actually like to see that. Because like... Again, the second movie like takes its time, like it takes forever, but it also feels like we're missing a lot and skipping through things. So yeah, that was a bummer. And then it goes away. And then this year, or last year, we finally got the It prequel show. Welcome to Derry. Which I knew that they wanted to make a prequel for a while. And I didn't know how I felt about it, because I'm just like, well, the kids can't beat it chronologically because it's in the same continuity. So I don't know how I can get invested in this. But that also makes it very interesting, because it's like, how is Pennywise going to kill him this season? This has gone back to the 60s.
Yeah.
Because that would be the last event before the 80s, right? Before the 80 attack.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the show's announced. Andy Muschietti is back. I think he directs a bunch of episodes.
Yeah, he directs a couple of them, yeah.
He's the showrunner and everything. And again, at this point, I'm like, I don't know. Chapter 2 is rough. I don't know if I really want him back. And look, I know he did The Flash, but I feel like, say what we will about Chapter 2, those movies made a shit ton of money. I think when it came to The Flash, the studio was like, we just need someone. Can you do us this? You made us a shit ton of money. Can you just do this for us?
And I'm not gonna lie, compare It Chapter 2 compared to The Flash. Flash is a far better film than It Chapter 2, in my personal opinion.
Yeah. Even though it's got wonky CGI and a lot of shit.
He went on record saying he did that on purpose.
For the stuff in the time, talk about it in the Flash episode. But people were like, how did that not ruin his career? It's like, because he made the studio a shit ton of money and they just needed someone. So I'm pretty sure they're like, we'll give you that It show if you do this. So yeah, the show got announced. I was like, all right, I'll check it out. But what else is there to tell? they were able to get Skarsgård back. I don't know if they knew they were going to get Skarsgård back because the early episodes, very little Pennywise.
Oh
if
yeah,
any.
Pennywise barely shows up in the series, really.
Yeah, until like the midsection,
Yeah.
and then you get a lot of them.
Because it's all creatures killing the kids up to
yeah.
that point.
Which is more in tone with the book. So I was like, okay, well, they got Skarsgård coming back. That gives it some kind of legitimacy. Yeah, I'll check it out. And I was missing it while I was airing because I knew we were going to do this episode. And there was just a lot going on. But I'm like, all right, let's binge watch this. I think I watched like, before like the finale came out, I caught up. And I was telling you about it. I'm like, hey, you got to check out the show. We'll put it on the list. And I ended up really liking this show. And I didn't think I was going to. I didn't think I was going to like it this much. How did you feel about it?
I really, to be honest, I wanted not to like it.
Yeah.
But I really liked it. I only have one complaint.
Okay.
And it's I don't like how the military the big pivoting point of the show is about the military getting involved trying to use it, Pennywise, as a weapon. Everything works up to the point where, like, what were you going to do with it?
Well, they didn't really know what it could exactly do.
That's the only thing, though, like, I didn't like that aspect of it.
Well, it brings up a question, like, why aren't they doing it later on in the other stuff?
Yeah.
Unless you just... I know Derry makes you forget, but I don't think writing down papers and reports can be forgotten by people outside of Derry. So
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
So that's the only thing I didn't like about it. But, like, I was, like I said, I not to be, like, a jerk, but I was wanting to not like it.
Yeah.
And then when I watched it, I'm like, okay, this is good.
Yes, it is actually really good. And what sold me was the first episode.
Yes.
So I liked the first episode with, like, the kid. He gets taken in by the family, and you find out the family is it.
Now the kid.
Yeah.
If I can remember correctly, that's the older brother to the 2-year-old that their dad beat to death in the book.
Oh, is that who he is? Hold on. What was his
If I
name?
can remember correctly, because remember, he goes missing and they accuse the dad of doing it. But he's like, oh, listen, I did kill my first son, but I did not kill my second son.
Holy shit. I didn't even put that connection there. That is awesome. So yeah, so the first episode, that kid gets killed. And then we meet a group of new kids. One of them is Stanley Uris's uncle.
Yeah.
And we meet a bunch of new kids who miss their friend. There's a girl, what's her name? Lily, I think.
I'm not gonna lie, I forget the names of the new kids. Except for Richie.
Hold on.
Which there's a reason why his name's Richie.
So Lily is the main girl. Then there's Ronnie, who works at the movie theater. And then Marge with the glasses. And a bunch of other characters, too.
There's the little boy named Richie. The Hispanic boy's name's Richie.
Yes. So yeah, they're like the new kids. Well, not the Hispanic boy, but at this point,
Yes.
It's just like Lily and the two boys, and they want to like figure out what's going on with their missing friend. I think she says she hears voices in her tub, which means that Pennywise has been doing this bit for a bit. And I'm like, okay, these are going to be our new kids that we're going to follow. And then all four of them are at the theater. One of them goes to the projection booth. And I'm like, okay. And then Pennywise comes out. Oh, there's a thing. The one kid brought his little sister. Pennywise comes out as a mutant baby and kills all of them except for Lily and Ronnie, who's in the thing.
Rips. Because we watched this.
Yeah.
And these two boys and this little girl, we're thinking this is the new crew.
That was such a good misdirect.
And the one kid gets ripped in half.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I was not ready for that.
And it was based on, because I think they said mutant baby early on because the kid was into sci-fi or something. So it's something from their fear that comes out. And I was like, oh my God, I'm in. I am in. And then the show got better because our complaint about Mike is that his dad was dead. He didn't have a relationship with his dad. We now get to see this relationship. The relationship from the book has now been transplanted to Mike's dad and the grandfather, who was working for the military.
Yeah.
Because in the book, the dad worked for the military. They just had a base there because it was like during wartime.
Yeah.
But so this one, like, he's there with the military because, you know, they just have an installation there.
He gets his foot blown off. That's why he goes and starts the farm.
Yes.
Yeah, in the book.
But this is very different. He just
Yeah.
happens to be there because the military's investigating stuff, and James Remar is the general there, who's in charge of the operation. He knows that they're up to something. There's some like Area 51 shit happening here that he's not being let in on. But I like that he has a bunch of scenes with his son, and we get the whole military thing, and we get Dick Halloran from The Shining, and it is legit the Kubrick Dr. Sleep, Dick Halloran. Played by, who's that actor? I actually really like that actor.
He did a good job.
He was Chris Chalk. He was Lucius Fox in Gotham. But he's been in a bunch of other movies too. No, really, really good actor. I really liked him as Dick Halloran in this.
Yeah, he did a good job.
He did a great job. And there's more of a because in the book, Dick Halloran just happens to be there.
He's there for one incident only.
Yeah.
This is really
and basically it was like a wink and a nod to people who read The Shining because it's like this fire was happening, no one knew where to go. Dick for some reason could figure out where to go and do this. So if
the black spot fire.
Yeah, if you know who he was, it's like, oh, he was using The Shining to maybe read minds and figure out how to get out there. But he has more of a reason to be there now. We find out that the military knows about the creature. Turns out the general knew the creature personally, but didn't remember until he got to Derry. And they find out, like, the Native Americans, the asteroid that hit, or the meteor that hit that had, like, the rock that we saw in it, Chapter 2, hundreds of years ago, the Native Americans broke that up into, like, 13 pieces or 16 pieces? And they buried it in a perimeter around modern day Derry to conceal the creature in the woods. So that's why he can't leave. I mean, he didn't leave before because there just weren't that many people in America. So he's like, I'll hang out here, and it's where the Native Americans are. I don't really know where else to go. But then they built that barrier. So he's probably pissed because society's been increasing, and then all these people migrated to America. He's like, I can't do shit. I'm stuck in this town. Because that meteorite was meant to contain him, I guess.
Yeah, so
until it crashed here and split.
I forgot what it was because I looked up to. There's a reason why he escaped from the macroverse and came to Earth. God, I looked at that stuff is really hard to understand.
I know,
man. But he's basically it's fun because they really lean heavy into the deadlights on this one.
Yes.
Really heavy.
Yes.
But it's fun because, like, okay, well, we're telling a story that no one knows yet. So we can kind of do what we want.
Yeah.
In a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I like that Dick Halloran's there, and they're using his ability with The Shining to try to find these pieces.
I like that. Okay, so, like, I don't like all aspects of the military.
Yeah.
I just don't like the fact of, like, they thought they can just utilize it as a weapon. And it's like, well, and like the one guy's like, well, you've fought this thing before. You understand it has properties that, like, how do you think you're going to control it? I didn't understand that part.
Yeah.
And I don't think that, and to be honest, they don't explain it whatsoever in the show. They don't tell you. They go like, they understand, like, because we're getting close to the Cuban Missile Crisis and stuff like that. And that's like a big pivoting point of it. But the thing is, like, okay, well, you want to, what do you think you're going to do once it gets out? How do you think you're going to control it? There's no explanation in that at all.
They didn't know. They actually wanted to let it out to see what would happen. So we have the military investigating it. And now the surviving girls are like, oh my God, everyone died. And the one girl's dad gets accused of it because he's a black guy in the 60s. And apparently he wasn't home that night. He was out and about. So it kind of gets pinned on him. They send that poor girl to basically Henry's grandfather, who's he doesn't start off as a real piece of shit, but then he becomes a real piece of shit.
You see where it's going. You see where that lineage went.
You can tell he's just like, because everyone's just like, you got to arrest him. He's like, I don't have any evidence or anything. I need some. You can tell he's like, I want to, but I can't at the moment. So they send her to, like, the insane asylum so she can come back and be like, okay, yeah, I definitely saw that. I like the look of Derry. It looks like the town from the movies.
No, it looks
Just
good.
A 60s version of it.
The show and majority of the scenes in the show is shot very well.
Yeah.
But there's some other stuff that doesn't look good.
There's some wonky green screen. The bikes through the cemetery.
I was about to say that. The bikes of the cemetery scene is really what lost me.
Bikes through the cemetery scene. That one.
Because that
rough.
first episode is phenomenal. It looks like a goddamn
Yes.
movie.
Yes, and like the rest of the show looks good too. But
Yeah.
the bikes through the cemetery was rough. So yeah, basically the kids are like, we need evidence that this creature exists because no one's going to take us seriously, and things are going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. So yeah, the military's investigating. The kids are investigating. At some point, they interact in the sewer. I thought that was funny when the kids are there and Mike's dad's grandfather almost shoots him.
Is it Hank?
It is. Hold on.
Will. Will.
Leroy Hanlon is the grandfather. Will is the son. Yeah. And then the mom, Charlotte, is played by Taylor Page, who was just in the Toxic Avenger remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, very pretty lady.
Yes.
Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
Yes. I liked her more in this than in Toxic Avenger. So yeah, I like when they go into the sewers to hunt for this thing, and it is just taking them out one by one. So again, it really likes kids, but it is also aware that the military's there.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want them fucking around with me, especially since they brought a fucking guy with The Shining. I don't like that because I like that he tries to like psychically do it, and then you see Pennywise eyes like not even doing the voice, going,
You.
like he feels Dick Halloran. He's like, who are you? What do you think you're doing here?
Well, he gets in there later. We see he really gets in there, and
Yeah.
he it's so fun. Like, cause like
Mm.
that scene's so. That's like when you see like the Shining shit and
Mm.
the powers.
Yeah.
It's that the supernatural powers aspect, not the creatures, but
Yeah.
using powers is really fun.
Yes. Because we never seen that before.
No.
Yeah.
We got Doctor Sleep. We got a little bit in Doctor Sleep, but now we get to see Dick kind of be a little bit of a badass.
Yeah. And we get to see like Pennywise like fucks with him too.
Yeah.
So again, it is tying into like Dr. Sleep as well, because he mentioned in Dr. Sleep he had a what was it?
The lock boxes.
Yeah, the lockbox. But what was it? His dad or his
Grandfather.
Grandfather was a real piece of shit who abused him.
Yeah, but also like, I mean, he goes in and even like sexually abuses him. Like he's
Yeah.
like, he's pretty nasty in the book.
And his grandmother taught him to like put that stuff in a lockbox. And we see that like Pennywise like lets the lockbox
Yeah,
out.
because he dies of a heart attack, but he still haunts him. Like
Yeah.
even though that's the big pivot point. Like even though he's gone, he's not gone.
Yes. But we assume like Dick's been putting other things in the lockbox. But yeah, like friggin' Pennywise lets it out to show that he's like stronger than Dick, basically. So yeah, we're learning a lot about the creature. I did like, so there's also time jumps, really cool flashbacks. We flash back to like the general when he was a kid and interacted with Pennywise in the woods, and he's like this creepy old man. I thought that was cool. And he ends up meeting a Native American named Rose, which was the name of the thrift store in the second movie. Who tells him about the creature, like, hey, you can't go into those woods, you got to stay outside of it. And then we meet the older version of her. So more of the Native American tribe is in this.
Which is fun.
And he mentioned in the second movie that they live on the outskirts of town past this. So they live beyond the perimeter. So they're aware of this thing and they remember it because they're close enough. So they know what's going on. They're like, we know it's 27 years. And they mentioned that it sheds and gets into the water, and that's how it affects a lot of people's minds. Did you catch that one?
No, I didn't pay attention to that.
He's like, we know that it sheds, and they're like, look, we got to talk about. He's like, I thought we were supposed to educate their kids. I'm like, we got more important stuff. But yeah, basically, it's like its influence. That's how its influence gets throughout the town. But they also know that there's a big cataclysmic event that ends the cycle, and they know that it's coming up.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff going on here, and I really enjoy this, even though it's only taking parts of the book and moving it around. This feels more in spirit with the book than the two movies.
So that's my big thing is this series really does hone in on the relationship of the children.
Yeah.
Really gets a good job at establishing that, which I think you can do over the course of a series versus a one movie.
Yeah.
This series got the assignment which is the book.
Yeah.
And I whatever they did, was a big course correction for me.
Yes. It honestly reminded me of like the Hannibal series. Whereas like I like the Hannibal Lecter movies. They're pretty faithful to the books. well, maybe not the end of Hannibal, but they're pretty faithful to the books, but there was a lot left out. And the Hannibal series told like news stories with leftover things from the books that didn't make it into the films. And this is kind of how I feel about this show. Although this show is in, Hannibal was its own self-contained thing. This show is in continuity. So it doesn't undermine the movies for people who like them. People really love the first one. They don't want to pretend the second one doesn't exist, even if it was a letdown. But I like that they're basically able to use all the stuff that got left out and repurpose it for this show. And it really works. And we get some pretty gnarly scares.
Yeah.
Dude, so was it Ronnie, her mom died in childbirth. So her like one fear is the bed literally coming to life as her mother and trying to eat her in the womb. I thought that was scary as hell. The one that killed me is when Margie's eyes turned into that larva.
Oh yeah,
and she has to
because the
slice
parasite.
them.
Yeah,
Didn't appreciate that one.
yeah, right in the jigsaw machine or whatever, bandsaw machine. Sorry.
Yeah, and then the pickle man. Because Lily's dad died in like a pickle factory, and the legend, like people have come up with an urban legend that he was put into a bunch of pickle jars.
Are you so you want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
My great grandfather.
Yeah.
He got died. It was a press machine.
Ooh.
And he was dragged into a press machine and smashed.
Oh no.
Yeah. So it's weird when I saw that. I'm like, oh shit. Like,
Did
people really did die like that back then.
Yeah.
His jacket got caught into it. And he was like sucked in the machine and just like completely smashed to pieces.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, and the thing, people don't think about that. Like when you working in a factory back in the day, like was a very dangerous
I mean,
job.
it's still dangerous now.
Yeah.
But I mean, so many people died. They're like, there's probably railings up. Yeah. But I love the scene of her in the grocery store, because then we get more of those background, like where it is like basically all the people following her, and she didn't realize it. But that pickle man, they use that pickle man a lot. Like, that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It was a very Lovecraftian kind of thing with the tentacles and shit.
And again, there's some pretty good fake outs in this. When they find the missing boy from the beginning, and he's like, I've been hiding, I've been terrified, and he's the one who brings him to the sewer, and it turns into Pennywise. Like, oh shit!
Now they live down here with the clown.
You noticed that in this film they didn't do any of the crazy eye work. He didn't do the cross-eyed, and he only has red eyes for the entire film.
Huh.
I wonder why they changed it up. I was like, did they think like, okay, we used that too much already? Let's not do that in this film.
Maybe. Also, I like that his eyes, like, they start blue and they turn orange a little bit. But yeah, when that kid turned into Pennywise, I'm like, that was fucking good.
Yeah.
But basically, Native Americans, they have a dagger that was also made out of it.
Shards of the comet that would landed.
Yeah, so they buried 16 pieces to make a perimeter, but then they also have the dagger that will like glow when he's around, like Sting from Lord of the Rings. And I like that it'll freeze him. Like he comes out, he's all monster mouth form, and he freezes, and he looks at it and disappears.
Yeah,
I thought that was cool. Yeah, all the storylines are woven together pretty well.
I like the deadlights in this.
The deadlights in this.
I love them. I love whoever was the audio engineer on this series was phenomenal. Great.
Yeah.
It was so freaking good.
And again, with flashbacks, we get to see like the 1600s when the Native Americans were there and like what they're afraid of, which is like the
moose monster.
Yeah, the moose monster, because, mooses are scary. I don't know why people think they're graceful creatures. Like, no, they're terrifying. Look at anyone in Canada. They show videos of like mooses fighting in their driveway, and they're like, I can't go to work today because I'm moose fighting. So the moose monster, I know in the one flashback into chapter 2, they showed a bird monster too. But it was like the settlers, the European settlers, and like the priests who were like torturing them. That was another one of their fears. So that was really cool. And then there's a lady in town, one of the nurses at the insane asylum, who's actually sleeping with Ronnie's dad, which ends up being a long con on her part. We find out that she's been there since 1908 or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
From the first time. Well, when the general was at the fair.
Yeah.
The fair or whatever.
Oh, wait, no.
The carnival.
Yeah, okay, I think so. Yes, you're right. So yeah, she's there. And she is Bob Gray's daughter.
Yeah.
So she was there. Her and her dad came to town, and it is Bill. So we get to see the real Bob Gray, aka the real Pennywise the Clown, who had been in a traveling circus, and now he's here, and he's secretly sick. He's not telling her. The mom died. She also is dressed like a clown. They have dreams of performing together.
Which is funny because like they make this where like Pennywise even says like I can make you live forever. I mean, well, you can't live forever, but you'll live for hundreds of years and stuff like that in the book.
Yeah.
And it's fun because that's not the first time Stephen King's done that in the Green Mile.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the rewards with Tom Hanks' character that he could live him and Mr. Lynxie.
Yeah.
Was it Mr. Lynxie? No, not Mr. Lynxie, but
the mouse.
The mouse. Yeah. Him. That was one of his like. That's the one thing that John gave him was like, thank you for helping me. This is what I'm going to give to you. So like this universe thing of like there are creatures that can live that long. So it makes sense why she's still there.
Well,
and in the 80s, because because she's not like in 1985, she was. I mean, I guess
it would have been 89.
She'd be like 90 years old, 90-something years old. I guess that could be possible.
She will be. She's definitely not alive in 2016.
But yes, exactly. There we go. That's what I'm getting to.
That is Pennywise. But yeah, so we realized Bob Gray was a guy. Kids loved him. And we get to see it, who's in the form of a child, like watching this and is like amazed. It's like, for some reason, this thing is like amazed on how he can draw kids in. And I love that, like, the kid goes up to him and he's just like, the kids are drawn to you. And he's like, that's a weird thing. I love that he's doing the Pennywise. It's funny hearing the Pennywise voice come out of a guy who's not bad guy.
Yeah.
He's like, that's a weird thing for a kid to say.
Can you help me? Can you help me find my family? Nope.
But yeah, so he saw the clown. He saw how kids were drawn to it. And the creature decides, this is my thing. This is a good way to get kids' trust. Because I guess before that he hadn't seen anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really cool that we got to see like the moment that the creature is like, I need to be that.
Yeah.
And we get to see that she has secretly been waiting her father. So I guess in a previous cycle, she encountered Pennywise killing a little girl.
Yeah, she's been like traveling around trying to find incidents that where is he going to show up again?
Yeah.
So she can be with him.
Yeah. But she watches a girl get killed. She's like, I need to see my dad again. That's my dad. I don't know why he's a monster eating people, but that's my dad. She's the one. So she slept with the guy who escaped the prison bus. He was going to Shawshank. He didn't make it to Shawshank prison. No. He escaped. And he's hiding at the black spot. Now, this is different than the movie. In the movie, they said it was a nightclub. And we see like a regular nightclub. They change it where like it's the barracks for like the black officers.
Yeah.
That they've turned into a club.
Yeah.
But this is like a really recent thing.
And also like it's different too because like it was clearly burnt down by the KKK in the book.
Well, not the KKK. Derry's equivalent of the KKK.
Yeah.
I forget what it was called.
And in the movie, they just call it a racist cult.
Yeah, but then she's the one that rats out his location that causes the burning and everything. And I love instead of KKK, it is the cops and everyone, but they're all wearing the classic monster mask.
Yes.
Which is a wink and a nod.
To the book.
Because in the book, he was Dracula. Yeah. He was the Wolfman. I thought that was really funny. Yeah. And then we get the
He was Frankenstein. You know? Yeah.
And then we get the horrifying black spot fire, which is brutal and gruesome. And then the kids are there for whatever reason. Oh, because the one wanted to visit their dad.
Yeah.
So all the little kids are there while all this horrible racism and burning and they're like shooting and getting shot at. They're blowing their heads off. It's really gruesome. Although after like 2 minutes watching that, I'm looking at that much fire. I'm like, they'd all be passed out.
They suffocate.
They'd all be suffocated by now. There's no way they would still be up. But we get to see Dick. I like that the ghost, so he can communicate with the ghost of Derry, and the one shows him the way out. Like,
well, he chooses. His thing is, he says he doesn't want to communicate with them because they'll never shut up.
Yeah, and
he goes, once they know
that you can talk to them,
they seek you out.
Yes, and then I do like that moment where, by the way, Pennywise shows up, and again, people were mad about him killing the gay couple. Here he is. A horrible race crime, and he's just dancing, and everybody's like, I'm gonna eat this guy. It's fun because he's pure evil. Yeah. People seem to forget that he is literally evil.
I don't. It's just like I don't That's the thing that I know this is like it's similar, but like that's like freaking. Did you ever watch Hocus Pocus 2?
Yeah, it was terrible. I can't remember.
Well, they were like, well, that's the whole thing is like they want you to sympathize with the sisters. I'm like, they eat children.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to
They
sympathize
eat
with.
children.
I know, it's dumb.
They're witches that eat children.
Yeah. So yeah, Pennywise shows up. It's a bloodbath, and I like that the daughter is there in the clown outfit. Pennywise just kills her husband in front of her. I thought that was fun.
What you find out is a horrible person.
Yeah.
At the first part of the movie, you're like, okay, he's fine. He's known as the butcher. And then you find his car stalls, doesn't work, and he just cuts. He's known as the butcher, and Pennywise takes a giant cleaver, cuts his head off.
Pennywise,
from half of his head off.
And I like that she said, like, I knew you couldn't resist this much bloodshed. I really want to see you again. And he's like, good job. He pretends to be her dad. And he's like, I'm going to go to sleep. And she's like, but well, I need to talk to you. And then it finally clicks for her.
You're not my dad.
You're not my dad. It's like, oh, what gave it away, you idiot? Like, what the fuck gave it away?
God.
And I love that he does the deadlights to her.
Yeah.
Which shows, like, it was just funny. Imagine showing up at that crime scene where it's like, all these black soldiers were burnt. That was horrifying. We found one of the conspirators here. He died. And then there's his wife. She's speaking gibberish in a clown outfit. You'd be like, wait, I'm sorry. Clown outfit? But one of the tragic things is Richie, who loves Marge, dies here. He puts her in the refrigerator to like save her.
Yeah.
The little kid Richie, he dies there. That's really sad. But yeah, then I like that we see afterwards he does go to sleep. He decides to sleep in his physical clown form in just a pool of all the corpses that he's collected over this cycle. And this
drenched in blood.
But I like at this moment the military, which Will's dad's trying to stop, destroys one of the meteorites, which ends up opening one of the portals, or like ends up opening the thing to get out. And the reason
the cage, they call it cage, yeah.
Yeah, and the reason they got this information is because Dick used The Shining on one of the natives.
Yeah.
To learn all this information, which is really cool. So I like that he's about to go to sleep, and then he wakes up. He's like, wait, something's up. And then for the rest of the show, he's got that blood from the face down, which now they're making tons of figures. They really knew what they were doing with that. They're like, how do we sell new Pennywise figures? He looks like he did in the movie. Give him a blood variant. So I thought that was cool, where he's like, wait, I can leave now? Or he's like, maybe I don't want to rest. And then, I don't know. I'm glad Derry makes you forget, and the deadlights might make you forget. He kills most of the town. It looked like the Mist. They said it wasn't the Mist coming out. But
this feels like the end of the book.
Yeah.
A big catastrophe, something happening to Derry.
Yeah. But it's that Mist that comes out, and they said, like, maybe it's somewhat linked to the void where the Mist comes from, but it's not literally Stephen King's The Mist. But yeah, he like takes over the whole town. That could also be like, because its influence is so strong. Maybe that's why they forget. But he takes like all the kids. He kills the principal. He does the dance, and he takes all the kids. I love
rips his head off.
Yeah, I love him in the cart playing the horn, and they're all just floating behind him.
Like Fiddler on the Roof.
And it leads to
what's the fiddle? Yeah, you know.
No, not the Pied Piper.
The Pied Piper. Sorry.
And it leads to a big showdown where they have to stop him before he leaves on the ice, and they realize they can replace the missing piece with a dagger.
Yeah.
And they're able to do it with the help of the Ghost Boy. And Dick using The Shining. I love that Dick gets in, they freeze him.
Yes.
And Dick gets in his head and makes him think that he's a human called Bob Gray. And he's like, I'm not a human. Why would you say I'm the eater of worlds? Like, Bob, are you okay? I thought that was really clever.
Yeah.
Also, General dies. He just keeps eating right away. I thought that was funny.
That scene. I'm sorry, but that's what it's funny, but it's like, man, what'd you expect? You've already fought this thing before and it tried to kill you. Now that you're adult, you don't think it's going to obviously just try to kill you?
Well, because he let him out, and then Pennywise was like, wait a minute, I remember you. Maybe if he didn't interact with him as a kid, he'd be like, thanks, buddy. Then he's like, wait a minute, you got away before. So yeah, they're able to stop Pennywise by swapping the missing piece with a dagger. To replace the piece that's missing, and then he goes and sleeps for 27 years and sets up for the stuff in the later movies.
Yeah.
Like Will's dad decides to stay there, and that's how he'll have Mike later on. The lady went to the insane asylum. She gets to meet Bev later on in life. They forward to the 80s. She gets to meet Bev.
You find out what happened to her mom.
her mom killed herself. Yes. That's the thing in It Chapter 2. The dad's like, you remind me of your mom. So then again, they made it like not like, I don't want to say sympathetic, but it's like, oh, he's real into her because he lost his wife. And it's like, oh, it's still problematic. I don't know. Doesn't really make it much better.
Well, also, I meant to say it's also in the first scene. One of the other cut scenes in chapter 1 is they have a backstory with Henry being abused, putting ointment on his belt, like belt marks on his back and stuff like that, trying to show you like why he is the way he is.
Yeah.
That just came to me. I just wanted to.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So yeah, the show ends. The cycle is done now. He'll sleep for 27 years.
Marge.
But they dropped, two really big things. Oh, and Dick at the end says, I'm going to go be a chef.
Yeah.
At a hotel. Nothing going to go wrong there. No, two big things. One, more turtles.
Yes.
Turtles everywhere. The school even has a turtle
mascot.
I think they called the Shakopee were like the children of Maturin or whatever. So I'm like, and even one of the pieces is buried in two turtle shells. I'm like,
yep.
Give us a fucking turtle. They're like, turtles are good luck. I'm like, stop teasing the goddamn turtle, you assholes. And two, Pennywise, I guess he is a cosmic being that exists out of time. He knows the future.
Yeah. He's constantly existing.
Yes. And he's like, he mentions to Margie, like, oh, Margie Tozier. She's like, that's not my name. It's like, it will be. And he pulls up the picture of Richie Tozier, which she named her son after the dead kid.
Yeah.
Which I'm just like, okay. So he's, like you said, Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
He can exist the whole time. But he can't change the future, although he thinks he can. He's thinking of trying to change the future.
It's like there is no time.
Yeah, he experiences all at once, but it seems like he wants to change it. That's the thing. And it's like, why hasn't he? So that's a weird thing.
Especially since he is technically defeated.
Yeah, and they mention like what if he keeps going back and trying to stop all of us?
They make a good idea. They pull a really good like Terminator moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like where they're like, well, what if we stop him, but then he goes, like you said, he goes back and tries to change what we done, or he goes back in time and try to make sure that we were never born, so we're never there to stop him.
Yeah, yeah. Or what if he, goes through that magic portal in the guy's closet from 11-something-63. What was that?
11/26.
The James Franco one.
Yeah.
Where the guy has a portal to 1963.
Yeah.
Pennywise should have known about that. He's like, wait, hold on, I gotta go through that portal. I can get out of here. Because there is some time travel stuff in Stephen King's universe, and it's all connected. I think Dick Halloran's in the book version of that story.
Oh, he is? Oh.
I think so.
That one I have not read.
Actually, I think the book version, Dick goes through Derry, and I think he meets Bev and Richie, I think. I was looking it up, who's in that. But yeah, I thought the show was solid. It's telling a new story, but based off things from the book that they didn't use, like the Black Spot Fire. I assume they're going to do like the Bradley gang, and then they're going to do the Ironworks explosion. Yeah. And I think
which they hint towards in the intro.
Yes. Oh, the intro is great with that old timey song. And they even, there was like they talk about in the first one, like the Niemhold house is on top of a well where a guy like killed a bunch of people. So yeah, they apparently have three seasons in mind.
Damn.
So they'll probably go back and then eventually end it. But I thought Welcome to Derry was phenomenal.
Yes.
And now that we've talked for a very, very long time, this is a real look. Come on, I haven't done a really big book to movie one in a while that went in depth. All right. I left out the miniseries where we would have been here for 10 days. Now that we've gotten to the end, what is the best modern It?
Oh, it's easily the show. Easily the show.
It's weird because that's the one technically it's the least accurate, I guess, adaptation, but it's the one that feels the most like the book.
I said, the
show is great.
The show, when you read this book or listen to it, when you're done with it, you understand what the book is, and you understand the message behind the book, and you understand the journey of the book. It chapter 1 didn't understand. The movie that they made was not the book. Yes, things are similar, but the actual message and the concept of what it's trying to achieve and show you through the book, it's not the movie. And when I say that is like when everyone tells you the book is phenomenal, it's one of his best works. When you finally sit down and read it or listen to it, you understand why people say that.
Yeah.
It's really relevant. Probably within the first like 3 to 4 hours, you're like, this is so good, I don't want to stop.
Yeah.
Now, Derry, it understood the assignment.
Yes. I feel like after the pushback from mid-chapter 2, he's like, well, there's still money in this franchise. People like this version of the character. Let's not undo it. Let's not remake it again. That's stupid. It's like, hey, let's just put him in the past and have him do other things and make it feel more like the book. And this does feel like the book. Yeah, Welcome to Derry is definitely the best, followed by It Chapter 1.
Yes.
And It Chapter 2 is last.
Yes.
And I hope one day they do that re-edit of just the two movies together, maybe fix the chronology. Maybe it would fit better if it was chronologically doing the flashbacks.
Do it chronologically together, and I personally, I think they should do. You know what they really need to do? Just do the Justice League treatment and turn it into episodic.
Yeah, episodic.
Episodic. Yeah, just break it up episodically, and I think
other movies done. What was it? Hugh Jackman did a movie called Australia years ago.
yes,
And a few years ago,
they make a companion show to it, right?
Huh?
A companion show to it, or something like that.
A few years ago, apparently there was more shot. They broke it up into a series of episodes and retitled it.
Oh, gotcha.
And then Tarantino did that with the Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
I saw the 70mm long feature, and I went, I miss Quentin Tarantino's old editor because his movies are too fucking long. But he broke it up as a series, as episodes on Netflix. So yeah, I think you could re-edit the two movies into one and break them up as episodes. That would be fun.
Yeah, no, that I feel like that could fix a lot of the issues and the pacing issues, and maybe, well, I don't know, you're not gonna be able to cut out the jokes because they're big. You can't cut them out.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we were in agreement. Welcome to Derry.
It's famous.
Logan,
Fantastic.
where can we find you?
Video Villa Entertainment on YouTube, anywhere you get your social media. Our website, videovillaentertainment.com. And yeah, stop by and hang out with us when we do our new episodes. We usually do about 2 a month. Yeah, that's where you can find us.
And we will be doing The Shining mini-series. And if you want to hear us talk more about The Shining, go back and watch the Dr. Sleep episode
One
I
of the
did on
best.
your channel. It's a
One of
good
the
one.
best.
It's a good one. And yeah, make sure to like, share, subscribe. Please sign up for Patreon. Even if it's at the free tier, you get the free podcast feed. A lot of good stuff there. I got to get out of this clown suit now. I'm sorry. I got to get out of this guy who talks about movies about killer clowns on YouTube for a living outfit now.
Soon to be the next top Halloween outfit for the next season. That was funny. I mean, I don't know if you were big into Conan. Were you big into Conan?
Yeah.
Okay, so one episode on the show, which is not a joke, it was real, when he got canceled, what's called, and he went to doing the TBS show, they made a plastic mask. This was really sold, and it looked like Conan, and it was called Failed Late Night Show Host. That was the name of the mask, because they didn't have the likeness of him, but it looked like a big fake bobblehead version of Conan.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, that's it from us. Goodbye, everyone. Ooh, is my hair bad?
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.